what's up? I'm here with Sith Lordly of Spine Ticks, and you're watching
Wine, Cheese, and Comics, please.
Let's go, y'all. Okay.
No, don't even start off with that. This man was asleep for the last 16 minutes.
Do not believe him, y'all. He would not let me
in. The fans left. People walked out. Pull yourself together.
The fans will never leave the show behind, ladies and gents. We are here. We are here to celebrate. And what do I have in my hand? I have wine. We got cheese. And all around me, ladies and gents, nothing but comics, please. God damn it, what a trifecta. And welcome back to a sophisticated look at the state of all things comics and collectibles. I am your host, but I am joined, as you've seen, by none other than the one, the time-traveling mofo from the future and the past. Y'all love him. DJ himself. Mr. Promiscuous Time Traveler. What's going on, Time Traveler? How are you?
Everybody, get your hands up. in the back. Welcome into the reggaeton.
What's going on, good brother? How you been, man?
Been good, yeah. Been hanging it. Well, not really been good. I just say been good, but I've been hanging in there, ready for another episode.
You here, man? You
absolutely
here, surviving, thriving. That's where we gonna leave it at, man. Oh, yes. Top it top it off. Y'all. And what's the show without the angry man himself, Mr. Yelling at fans himself? Y'all know him. Y'all love him. The one and only Last Level Comics. Yo, what's up, Matt?
You cost me $10.
Matt!
You cost me $10 tonight. I'm just letting you know that. Out of my salary, I want my $10 back. My super chat went without any recognition. Why?
Because you were asleep. Why? You know why? You were asleep. You know why you had to pay that fee, right? We're a week behind right now. We're a week behind, god damn it.
That's true. Or we're a week ahead.
No rebuttal there. That is true. We are a week behind. That is my fault. That is my fault.
I was just making sure you guys knew I was rebelling because we are a week behind, ladies and gents. I said I will not do the show unless Matt contributes to the cause. But no.
AKA my ass had no graphic design, so I had to wait.
My man, Last Level Comics is in the building, man. Shout out to what you do, man, because you're saving lives, literally saving lives.
Yeah, seriously.
On a daily basis. So a lot of people would not be here without you taking a night off to do what you do.
You know,
Promiscuous just busted his light, but we are here, ladies and gents. So y'all know what to do.
Do you know Liz Barnes, when she asked why there was no show last night, I told her, she said she would never get health care in the state of Pennsylvania ever again. There's many times that Liz Barnes has literally cut me to the core, but I felt like she did a spinal tap through my chest with that comment. I'm just
listen. Liz does a lot of things, right? She'll make fun of you not having your hobbits anymore, you know. But come on, man, you know, Liz is the. Oh, what is that?
Tell me a Hobbit story. This is Kinlan. Because when you send me a box with something like that written on it, right in the fire.
That's that's huge. I thought it was going to be way smaller.
Oh no, it's a great reminder, and I've had it here for a little over a week. And every day I want to talk about a Hobbit story that broke my heart. So, it's right there behind you, it's just reminding me how stupid I was that day.
Well, you know, sometimes we all make these mistakes, ladies and gents.
So we'll say that
it looks like Liz has gone ahead and made up for the mistakes that Matt has made. So we'll see what that looks like in a minute. Oh my God. Is there anybody in the chat that was waiting for me? We got my man Wolverado hanging out. What's going on, Wolvie? How you doing? Speaking of Liz, so great to see you. So great. Willy Wonka's in the building. Sands Group. There you go. We got We got my man Matt Sites. We got Matt dropping some goodies. What you got there, Promiscuous?
It's not going to focus, but it's 11-year aged cheddar.
Time out. Today is National Pretzel Day, so you both are failing miserable for not eating a pretzel.
We got Crystal Ho in the building. What? Crystal
I went to
Ho.
Uncle Chang's Bakery. Does that count as a pretzel?
No, but I want to go to that
We got
bakery.
some smoked Gouda right here, y'all. Smoked Gouda. Let's go. All right, so
I'm drinking
shout
how
out
I
to
feel
everybody.
tonight.
Crystal Ho, what's going on? Let's see who else showed up for us, man. All right, y'all. Do me a favor, let everybody know we on. My apologies. The Cookie Man had to, make himself fashionably late tonight. But Matt, what are you drinking tonight, good sir?
Oh, I'm drinking Dr. Doom all night, man. Got to go back to a class.
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
fire, some super villain goodness right there.
So
Okay. And what about yourself, Promiscuous? What was that goodness?
We have a guest, so I'm mixing and matching like it's going out of style. So what you saw me pour into the glass was a Chardonnay.
do you want to tell
Called
him the guest showed up?
Symphony.
The guest showed up at 9 when you were sleeping and left.
No way.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to say that. And then I also have some sake for later. And then I also have a Japanese beer as well to have some nice libations.
All
I
right.
was looking for my koozie because I'm not a big fan of like showing labels, I guess, even though all I just did was show labels. I don't know. I guess it doesn't matter. Cheers, everybody. Welcome into Wine, Cheese, and Comics, Please. I'm surprised we've made it past 20, let alone made it to this number.
Whoa,
Whatever.
whoa. We just needed to get you to show up. I mean, it's bad enough when Sans don't wake up. We just need to get you to. I mean, you traveled through time. I mean, that's far worse than him taking a nap.
Jumping back and forth in time, man, showing up, but with pasta 30 minutes late. And you worried about me oversleeping? Come on.
That was my least defining moment. Was I made the meanest pasta.
Oh, man, guys, I didn't realize the show started 45 minutes ago. I was making pasta.
He blew the whole house out. He was like, boom, all of the lights went
and
out.
then the power went out immediately after that.
Just arrived.
Anyways, I got some cheese. I got a nice little bun. I got some crackers and some strawberries.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
So this is California Vine Family Vineyards. Look, I'm trying to be all sophisticated for real tonight because we do have a special guest that's going to talk to us about wine and different things later tonight. So let's do this. But before we get into all of that, man, we got a lot to talk about. Matt, how's your heart, man? Has Star Wars been still on the top of your mind? Are you okay these days, Matt?
Before we dive into movies, I think there's a lot of news. Let's go with news first tonight. Star Wars is good, so I don't want people to fall asleep in the first half of the show.
We don't start with Star Wars.
We're going with news.
I love it. Everything has.
There's a lot of good things to talk about.
Oh my god! Just madness, ladies and gents. Matt, what shall we kick it off with, good sir?
This just in.
I am so tired of the FOMO. All right, who's with me? The FOMO is outrageous. Is Spider-Man #7 a good investment? It is up there with the Eminem Spider-Man cover, in my opinion. And I don't want to get into numbers yet. We still got 2 more months to break that iceberg on you, Sans. But trust me, every month I look at the numbers.
So you know what I'm going to say, right? I'm going to say,
it.
first of all, I'm going to raise a glass to all of my people who follow FOC and who understand that you can buy that Spider-Man #7 a month in advance for half the price of the cover price. And you can order 20, 40, 50, 60, 100 copies. And to that person who ordered a sweet 500, posted them on eBay for $35 a pop and sold through, I raise this glass to you because that is having foresight and taking advantage when an artist or a creator tells you there's a secret, y'all. I'm not gonna say too much, but you're gonna want to buy this book. Now, anybody could have said that, but when Dan Slott said, "Hey, look, Spider-Man 7, Ramos spoiler, do not sleep on this book. Make sure you got it." That was warning number one. I literally posted this thing in so many different chats.
Oh, absolutely.
I said, hey, get this book.
I said, hey,
listen to the band.
So my selective hearing kicked in the entire time. The words I heard were taking advantage and that guy for making money. So you took advantage of someone and you influenced them to buy a piece of shit book. So I mean, hey, man, Matt, I'm all for it.
Hey Matt, before you go any further, is this weird?
I'm gonna fucking Jesus Christ! Oh, it's fucking horrible. How?
Why do we let this?
It's
top
like
of the strawberry eating mofo on here? He destroys strawberries. Oh my god,
it's disgusting. He's just chewing it. I can't. All right, back to I lost my thought there. Oh my god. How did you
Spider-Man 7, no good.
That's gross. Don't do that. Never do that again.
Why is it gross? It's just the green part.
It's like eating the back door of a strawberry. You just don't do it.
It's like the guy who eats the whole shrimp and says, "Yeah, we can eat this shell. It doesn't matter."
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Mine's a plant. Like
all right, so again, taking advantage out of your mouth. You said it, and influencing. So again, are influencing or influencers influencing FOMO, and would that book be worth the 55 or what did I see? Somebody had a Ramos remark. He was at a con this past weekend. He signed a bunch of them. $450 for a remark and his signature on it. Wow. I will sell you 3 crates of softy toilet paper that'd be worth more than that comic book for what you pay for it.
So. But that remark did look fire. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw said influencer showing off that remark, I was like, holy that is beautiful.
The head bust, the side head bust.
Yes, that was beautiful. Ramos took care of that. Now, $400. Come on, are you really? Is someone really? And he sold out of those.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like,
why?
What else could you like? I literally want to have a market. Like, we're gonna have a segment of the show, right? What could you have spent your money on? And it's gonna be like a pile and then it's gonna be like everything else, Silver Age books that you could have bought at $450. Like first appearance books, like true first appearance Silver Age books that you could have bought at like mid-grade for that same price.
But you bought a comic that came out last month.
Thank you.
Now, are you mad at the FOMO of the book?
I'm just mad that we're just burning people off. Like same thing I was last year. Like, you all got mad at influencers influencing shit on whatnot. And I keep going back to it because every freaking week it's the same thing. You got so mad. These influencers driving these exclusives at cons, blah, blah, blah. But then here, y'all just did the same thing. I mean, so I'm not mad about the people selling it. I'm not mad that you sold books. I'm not mad that he sold books. I'm mad at the people that are buying them thinking that they got a good deal and thinking that, wow, this is going to be amazing.
I would say that jumping kind of like tandem with what you just said, when they go to sell their book, they're going to have a sour taste in their mouth if they're trying to like sell it for a profit, if that makes sense, because they're not going to get the ceiling that they just paid for something.
That's you assuming that those are resellers or
correct, yeah,
anybody other than a bona fide collector of this book.
If it's a collector, then I how much disposable income do you have, and how much of that is put towards just like on a whim? Because like you could have bought that for so much less. I don't know. Look at my man Sean Ryder. Look at Sean Ryder. Timing is everything. Flipping and acquiring FOMO books. It's crazy, fair, right? Because they'll fall off. Also, I hope that you had safe travels, Sean. Sean out in the Far East, doing your thing. If we even say the Far East anymore, out
in Japan. There we go. We'll just leave it at that. But let me just say this, right? There were certain points with Spider-Man 7 where you could have got the 1 in 100 for like $60. Nobody wanted a Doc Ock cover. It was all about the Ramos cover.
Mm-hmm.
And
because it's a first appearance and a first cover appearance, which is rare.
But are you not Spider-Man out? Like, is Spider-Man just rinse and repeating their characters? It's so old. It's so old. That's why I can see from someone that's seen comic books, I can see no gain in this book. It is okay. Who can I relate to? It is the Clown Prince or from Batman.
Clown Hunter.
Clown Hunter. Literally. Something new, something edgy, something from modern age went nowhere. Cool. He was cool.
It was selling. It was selling for like $65 at one point.
Yep. But where'd it go? Now you can buy it for under $5.
Mm-hmm. We say this, but there's certain books every year. I always say this every year. There's 5 books that matter. 5 books that you want to get that's going to matter.
So are you going to buy every book on the shelf to get those 5 books?
No, you just got to know what those 5 books are, right? And
I was telling everybody to snatch up 8 Billion Genies. That was mine.
You was telling everybody to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, it was Tosin. It was Death number 1. Mm-hmm. There was like 8 Billion Genies number 1. There were 5 books that I can put on my hand to say, get these 5 books, hold on to them. They're investment books. One of the books this year just so happens to be this Bailey character. Now, again, there's an opportunity here for this book to be absolutely nothing. But the way that they are thinking about this Bailey character is they're rewriting him into 616 history. He is not just, Spider-Man in another Spider-Verse. He's not connected that way. He's connected in a sense of we're retconning all of these major events that you didn't know about because it was wiped from your mind. And that's an interesting way to think about it. If you say, okay, well, what happened in this major event? Bailey was actually there, but we never knew about it. And it's like, okay, well, let's see how they do. Can Dan Slott, can they do that and make this into the twist that everybody's like, where are they going with this? Now I know it's the millionth Spider-Verse character.
Mm-hmm.
But
and look at the how many other first appearances were technically in that book though. There were spider people being flung everywhere.
And nobody cared, only Spider-Boy.
Yeah, Bailey just because he had a talking part. I think that if true collectors are going to be like the real ones that are very finicky about what's a cameo and what's a first appearance, there's a lot of cameos in that book versus just the first appearance of Bailey as Spider-Boy.
And that's why I said the 1 in 100 was undervalued for so long. Like literally, I bought the 1 in 100. And I was holding it. And I was like, I'll get like $85 for this. Nobody wants the Alex Ross. None of these Alex Ross covers are going for more than $50, $60 right now. Okay. That one was going for like $75. And then everyone caught on to the fact that, well, there's a second print. And the second print is so overwhelmingly done to the fact that you had 3 or 4 major and not just 3 or 4 companies who made second prints, but companies like Unknown and Golden Apple that you don't know print count.
I said, what was the print count? What was the total print count? 25,000?
You will never know. They may have made, and they can continue to make books as much as they want.
You mean for exclusives?
Yeah. No, the first though, the A cover was like 25,000. It was up there. Last time I swore the last time I looked, it was like 25,000. Like that is like a first appearance 25,000 book.
But this is the C cover. Nobody was ordering the C cover, Matt. You had people who knew and ordered, and so many people knew, and they didn't even put in an order for 5, man. If you were smart, you got Dan Slott's information, and you just put FOC. Let me go to Unknown Comics and grab 5 of these. Let me go to my local guy that does FOC and grab 5 of these. Let alone the guy that grabbed 25 or something like that, and just said, "Oh, there's $40 a book. I can now buy my FF 48 right now,
You know,
and that's
that's
what we're seeing.
if you
That is what
turn
we're
if you
seeing.
turn a modern book into something that you actually want to purchase.
I can't be mad
Like
at it.
yeah,
I
it's
can't be.
hard to. But in the same breath, Matt, how many of the Spider-Man 7s did you buy? This is how many I bought. That's 2 goose eggs. Um, it's not it's not our style, I guess, or not our. It is our game, but it's not our. I don't know.
Look,
I'm not invested into the character. I think it's cool, but I'm not going to bite at every
I,
first appearance because
yeah,
I'd go broke.
and I don't have the inventory to sit here and keep like 25 books for 52 years for the character to become relevant. Like, there's
Yeah,
no way this character is going to become relevant before Miles makes his first appearance in Marvel Cinematic history. So if I'm going to
Mhm.
invest in anything, I'm going to continue to invest in Miles, because Into the Spider-Verse is just the tipping point for Miles becoming
Miles.
the big.
But you just said it. Miles is now getting priced out, bro.
I don't think
Miles
I
is getting priced out
good.
now. It's coming back to earth in a lot of ways, but there are Miles keys that one book $500, one book $2,000. Miles is getting priced out. Gwen is getting priced out, and
Yeah,
just to
that's
they're
the
say,
good
comic
characters.
market. That has nothing to do with Miles. That's the comic
so
market right
what's
now.
wrong with Bailey holding on to Bailey for 10 years?
Well, we don't know anything about Bailey. We know that Miles Morales has a kick-ass video game, a phenomenal movie that literally changed the scope of animation, and also like this vast storyline that dates back like 20 years, or not 20 years. What is that?
And
10 years.
and he has such a cult following with kids, like
Mhm.
like legit kids. Okay,
Kids
kids
see
will
Spider-Man as
kids will
Miles.
see Spider-Man before they flock to Falcon.
Mhm.
Like you have to understand this. Like, in as far as, if I was to put Miles Morales and Falcon and say the Hulk in front of my son, he's 5 years old. He's gonna choose Miles all day without hesitation. He's gonna choose Miles.
That's fair.
And again, that's the future comic book reader. That's the future Marvel movie watcher. That's the future animated series watcher. Like, so they're going to invest in the things that are the future. Now, could Bailey do it? Sure. I don't know enough about him. Time will tell. Time will
Tell
tell.
you
That's what
what,
I said. Don't put another bet in here. You can't lose another bet.
there we go. I said, tell you what,
What are
give
you gonna
it,
bet?
give it a year.
A year?
Give it a year.
Oh
See
shit! Here we
what,
go. I gotta write it
see
down.
what
Hold on. Hold on. I gotta get the sheet open.
fallout of this. You remember Ultimate Fallout? Let's see what the fallout of Spider-Man number 7. The same thing is being said right now
I'm starting a whole new tab called
with
Sans
Tosin.
1-year flops.
The same thing is being said right now with Tosin, man. You cannot pick up and give up on that book too early. All of the heat has died down on Tosin, but guess what? What's the value of the book? The book, his first appearance is still where it is. And yep, go ahead.
What is the peak that you've sold Tosin at, and what is it valued at right now?
I think the peak I sold a Tosin number 1 was like 75.
That's I was there for that, and they were happy to buy it at 75.
Right, and I think right now it's selling 35 to 40,
which is still nuts to me. I sold my Tosin covers for actually no, I had the 1 in 25s, and I think I sold them for like $300 to $400 each.
Yeah, I sold the 1 in 25s for no less than $350.
Yeah,
and they still command in a 9.8. They still command a good return.
Yeah.
What's going on, AMKM Comics? Shout out to my brothers Miguel and my man Mike.
You know that they're gonna have this up on the shop and Miguel's gonna be yelling at the screen when he disagrees with something.
They over there partying. They got the music on in the background, selling comics.
Literally one of my favorite comic book shops to hang out at. Just
go,
saying.
man. So. We gotta get them boys on here sometime. But they do a good job of balancing the vibe, man. They let you live up in there. But this is what I'm talking about when I say take a book and fuel your collection. Those people,
my God.
those people who
I don't know, man. The Alex Ross for Tosin selling for right now in a 9.8, $95.
Really?
Yeah, that was just sold April 20th, so 6 days ago.
The
Was-
Alex
I mean,
Ross 1 in 100.
No, not the 1 in 100. So let me go to the 1 in 100.
There's only a 1 in 25 for Tosin.
Oh, for Tosin, yeah.
Mhm.
There's only I thought he was talking about Spider Boy.
The 1 in 1,
No.
the 1 and 25 is selling for 175.
Raw.
No, 98.
Whoa,
Whoa! Start picking those up.
that's a comeback. That is a comeback.
two people just said that they sold theirs for $350, and
Raw.
you're telling me you can pick
Maybe
them
that
up.
was a one-off.
I sold mine raw for 350.
Yeah,
Yes.
I sold mine for 350 raw. And
Back on February 2nd was the highest grade one in a 9.8. Best offer was accepted. Two best offers were accepted. They started at 700 and 750.
Mhm.
But there hasn't been one since February 2nd of 2023.
Because I just think the heat, like, who's still reading Black Panther? Is Tosin even in it? Because like he showed up in issue 3, but then didn't show up again until 2 issues later.
He's been in every other issue
Okay.
for like a period of time, and then he also showed up in the Wakanda specials where they introduced a new character. When he was on the cover of that Wakanda #4, that book blew up like crazy as well. So I will just say Tosin is a character to look at from last year. You're always going to have creators who want to create their own characters, man,
And
because that's where the money is for the creator. If I can create the next big character, I'm going to make money off of that hand over fist for years versus just writing a story. So that's where I think you're always going to have, and people, we need a good villain, y'all. That's why I think a lot of people are sleeping on characters like what's the new hero in Spider-Man, Hallows Eve. I think people are sleeping on that character. That character has the ability to be something special, and her 1 in 25 second print is like 4 as well, y'all. So all I'm gonna say is
You turned into a transformer. Can you say that again? You said her first appearance is raw.
oh, did I kind of
just say your last statement again?
Yeah,
so
I was
we
gonna
can
say
hear.
her 1 in 25 on the second print is like $300-$400.
Okay.
And those types of little
Oh my God.
man, those are the things you got to get. So Hallows Eve is another one for this year to be looking out for.
And I totally lied. Black Panther 3, the 1 in 25, last 9.8 that sold was February 5th, and it was 700.
Oh, okay.
Now,
That makes more sense.
before that, February 2nd, the other two that sold on February 2nd, best offers were accepted, but the last official price that I know of, it was a $700 9.8.
Okay, then it still holds up. I just like quick shout out. This cheddar is so good. Oh my goodness!
Just eat your cheese. I'll never want to see you eat a strawberry again.
724 is the name of it's 724 Wisconsin Select.
But
it's
I
an
agree with you, Kyle.
11-year age cheddar. Wow.
I agree with you. There's no good villains anymore. Like, I mean, like, I just feel like look, villains to me are going to be dead unless they do something really good with High Evolutionary. So
okay. Two things. Going back to the Batman kind of rogues gallery.
Yep.
One Bad Day has been blowing my mind all year.
I told you they're the best.
Bam, just hitting me. Guys,
every last one of them,
girls,
phenomenal.
Everybody, go. Just One Bad Day. That's all it takes, and I absolutely love the storytelling in it. That's bringing an old rogues gallery villain back into like the fray, and I absolutely like adore that series. It's good. If I didn't focus mainly on independent books, that would be probably top 5 of this past year. So
which
I
book
told
is
you the Riddler, the One Bad Day series.
One Bad Day, just all the One Bad
the
Day
One
series.
Bad Day series has actually been
so
pretty damn good.
Oh my god!
So are we? Where are we here? Are we consensus that if you were smart and you got this for half price or cover price and you made money off of this, kudos. If you paid $40-$50 for this,
if you
better be
care
a real
about the
collector.
character, you get it early. However, if you don't know you like the character until you actually read the book, then you wait and you wait for the hype to die down, and that's when you get it. I mean, but then possession, like, I don't know, you could read things online too if you really like the character. But if you want like the soul part of it, you want the first appearance of a character so much that you commission people to do artwork of it. Like that's when you separate the fans from the resellers. So
Kyle, a year from now, is it
yeah.
going to be a $5 book, or going to hold value, or going to be even higher?
I'll give you 5 times that. I think it'll be like a $25-$30 book.
Okay, so it'll retain its current kind
I don't
of
think I don't think
value.
it'll dive, but I don't subscribe to the super hype of it, because where's how many first appearances have there been recently? Like in the past like 2 years, where are those? Like I'll go and remember that Thor book where it was first like amalgamation of Mjolnir in like human form or whatever, and that was selling for like $50, and then where's it now? It's like at like 10. So
again,
yeah, it
look at
it
the whole
depends on
Null
the
series.
character.
Like look at the whole Null series in my book. Like Dylan Brock, like that whole series had so much potential. Pennies on the dollar now, man.
Yeah. I'm Sean kind of
Sean hit the nail on the head, but it also
at least
depends
for
on
what I'm thinking. Yeah,
it depends on what comics have backing, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are Marvel and you put good writers and you put money behind a Hallows Eve or a Tosin or a Spider Boy to the point that you are driving that character now, then it's going to continue to get eyes and views. If you say Black Winter from 2020 and you let Donny Cates just kind of destroy it, like people know right now, Donny, it's not so much the characters as it is Donny Cates draws up the hype, and then
it's
you
the
gotta
hype
be
train
like,
that is Donny Cates.
yes, you gotta get off
on
that
board.
train.
Choo, choo.
So I'm gonna say in a year from now, and this book is going to hold its value. But if they promote it and do different things with this character, like they're talking, it may actually be a great key to have for future. And I'm gonna say, not only is that cover C with him, his first appearance on there, going to be valuable, but the 1 in 100 is going to be what ultimate fallout for the 1 in 25 is.
No, because he's not on the cover. He's not on the cover. That's the only thing that separates it.
I feel like the Alex Ross timeless variant with this character in it in a 1 in 100, you just did not have this, because there's going to be so many of the cover A's and C's that were ordered to where the 1 in 100 is the rarest book.
It will always be the rarest book just based on the ratio, but if you're going to compare something, you need the true first appearance, you need a cover appearance, and it needs to be a good long-standing character. Like that is hard to hit that trifecta.
It is hard. It is, and you need a good story too.
Yes,
the story has to continue to grow in people's eyes. So if Spider-Man 8 is shit, which is supposed to be, then this is going to blow up in everybody's face. If they do a good job, you could be looking up at some money. What's going on, Geeky Dad?
Here's a sneak peek of Spider-Man 8.
Is that a transition? Was that a transition?
Wait, can we get an update on Eminem Spider-Man?
Yeah, we might as well.
Is it retaining value? What's going on here?
For the next topic, why I pull this up. Next topic is Jonathan Majors.
Oh,
right, y'all. This is heavy, y'all. This here is heavy. But
it gets into cancel culture. It gets into falsifying evidence. It gets into like defamation of character.
What's going on, Vaughn? Good to see you.
Spider-Man Eminem is still doing all right.
Okay.
See, wait, guys, Trust me on this, man.
You had a little bit of a dip, but now it's bouncing back a little. You're back up in the 500 range.
You seeing what I'm saying here, ladies
In a
and
9.8
gents?
though, how many 9.8s are out there? Now, I will say the limited 100, the white cover, just sold on April 25th yesterday for 1,290.
And
No,
that's
get
not even
out.
the one. That's not
No.
even the one I think will be long term the best one, because those
But it's
regular
almost
covers,
double than the regular the regular
A
cover in a
thousand,
9.8.
$1,200? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
yes,
One
yes.
bidder. So again, I can't really say, but
What?
the
But those
regular
regular covers were so damaged that those
590.
are going to be long term. Those
No
are
one's
going to
gonna
be
care.
really, really expensive too.
No one's gonna care.
What's going on, Creamer and
Man.
Cash?
Hey,
All
how's it
right,
going,
John.
Kramer?
So we got to talk about Jonathan Majors, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
We got to say there's so much, like you said, Kyle. There is the fact that there's information out there, we don't have it all.
Mhm.
Two, there's so many comparisons between what is DC doing versus what is Marvel doing, and how does one company stand by and the other company is like, well, we might just drop this altogether. And then you got the court of public opinion, which is like, there's
You're
no
no
more innocent
innocent
until
till
proven
proven guilty.
that's out of
You're
the,
guilty right away.
you're guilty right away. And what we're starting to see is there was a lot of information that was building up, and there still is, against Jonathan Majors, man. Like, Jonathan Majors, his star was on a trajectory, not like this. It went like this, y'all. And
Yeah.
when we talk about two major hits in this year, the first
Devotion,
quarter,
Rocky.
It was three. It was three hits.
It was
Yeah.
Loki, Devotion, Rocky, Ant-Man. I mean, he had
Lovecraft Country.
Yep.
You're talking about the one of the, like, he was going to be in the running for like
not
actor of the year or getting an Oscar this year perhaps, and now you are sitting back and saying, is this guy the monster? Is this guy not the monster? What's going on? And again, we still don't know half of the information until May 8th, but half of the country is divided. You got people that are saying, listen, we knew this guy was a problem years ago. We worked with him. He's a savage. And that's going to stick. You got additional witnesses coming out to the DA like, hey, this guy's a monster. Where's that all coming from, and why were they silent for so long? You can't tell me that the guy has been a public figure this long during the Me Too movement and other movements, and nobody said anything about this until the issues.
So look, I have been very boisterous on my opinion of Ezra Miller. Hands down, I have been very boisterous. The man has some serious mental health issues that he needs to be looked at. My opinion on Jonathan Majors, someone was looking for a payday, a quick payday, and an easy payday. And that's just what I've been able to do.
You can accuse somebody of anything and settle out of court and get a paycheck.
And that's big right there. The other thing, though, is when we talk about Ezra, we talk about mental health and we talk about LGBTQ plus and the protection that is under that umbrella, right? You have this umbrella of, hey, we got to give this guy a chance. He has mental health, or he or she has mental health issues, or they're going through these transitions and changes, and that's a very kind of sticky path to be on right there. So we see a different set of criteria and how people are viewing the two situations.
So real quick, I don't want to spend a ton of time on this because it's a hot topic. We don't have a lot of details, but Sands, keep them or cut them?
I got to keep them until we know full detail.
Kyle,
but unfortunately, the rest of society has cut them and cut them deep.
Jonathan Majors?
Yep.
I don't know enough about it, but based on what I know, and I just have to put this out there, if more information presents itself to change my mind, I'm still on the side of keep him.
What about you, Matt?
Honestly, has nothing to do about the controversy at all. I'm going to be real with you.
Cool.
I'm gonna say cut him because other than Loki, his appearances and things have been bomb worthy, and he has not been a standout. And this is a great opportunity for Marvel to cut their ties and go in another direction that might be more popular.
And that could
And
be
that's my
the
honestly
case.
has nothing to do about him, has nothing to do about
Okay.
the instance. I just don't think he had the rocket like Thanos had. And honestly, they have more bang for their buck getting rid of Kang and going full on Doctor Doom.
So yours is not so much about the controversy, but it gives the opportunity
It
to
opens the door
make
for
the
it
change and
without.
but how does that
Save-
impact phase 5 where you had, or phase 6 where you had 3 or 4 movies lined up?
You just hold them off. You just let Fantastic Four come first. You let Scrolls play the big bang for 2023, and then from there,
Scrolls.
I am just being honest with you. You just sit back and just let the media do its thing. Let it ride out. You introduce Doctor Doom, and you just change it from there.
Lay low. Time passes.
Yep. Honestly, and again, with all the controversy, everything going on, it's not going to hurt because right now I feel we're overhyped on superhero movies. So this will give us it'll give Marvel a little breather to kind of catch up. But
there you go, y'all. So, long-term opinion, I think Kyle and I are saying, hold on to him. We got to see what's going on through this. He has other things coming up with Marvel. They still, because I think Kang can still be big. Kyle is saying, Matt is saying, guess what? Kang wasn't what it's supposed to be in the first Ant-Man anyway. This right here is a chance to cut ties. It has nothing to do with what's going on.
If it would have not been Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man and killed so easily by Ant-Man, I'd be like, okay, maybe it was one of the lesser Kangs because there's so many. Like they're saving Conqueror for like the big end, but I don't know, man. Like there's not enough. I mean,
it's gonna be tough, man. We're gonna have to drink to this, man. And so I think we need to bring experts in to tell us how to drink to this news, man. You guys ready to talk about not only the cheese and the comics, but the wine, the sake, the whiskeys, and everything else? Because there is a big W in the start of our name, ladies and gents. So, Matt, do us the honors.
That was sultry.
I get rid of my beat, man.
That was so sexy. I'm here.
That's what I'm saying.
Do. Miss Kara Jones, what is going on? We are joined tonight by, you saw her, 40 Under 40. This is a social media influencer, everything you want to talk about in regards to wine, ladies and gents. But not only that, spirits, sake, and all of that goodness.
All the fermentations, all of the
good stuff.
I love checking out your Instagram page because it's always like, what should I go try? Oh, I'll try that.
Thank you.
So, Miss Jones, do tell us a little bit about yourself and what the heck is that you're pulling out right there?
Okay, so I'm Shakira. I'm from New York, from the Bronx originally. Shout out to the BX.
Shout out to New York. What's going on, people?
I am a collector of things. So I have a lot of vintage vinyl. I collect a lot of wine. And recently I've gotten into comics and been exposed to this amazing world. Thanks, Sans. Also, shout out to the Knicks because I'm a lifelong fan of teams.
Oh, God, we got to get her out of here. Get her out of here. She said the Knicks. No way.
I'll be back.
How are you going to boot guests that we have?
That was the fastest guest we've ever had.
Thanks for joining us. Right?
That was quick. But no, I love teaching people about what. Yes, that. You know what though, Mrs. Jones is my mom, but I do love that song. But I love teaching people about wine. I have a bunch of wine certifications. So if you look at being a sommelier, I look at it as a job title. I've never worked on the floor in a restaurant or anything like that. So I don't call myself a sommelier, but I do have a ton of certifications because I'm just a nerd and I like studying and drinking a lot. So here we are. And this is a Corvin because I'm not sure how much we about to talk, and I don't know if I'm going to drink this whole bottle. So this lovely little device allows me to go into the bottle and pour a glass without opening the entire thing and without pulling the cork.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It's like popping the keg with a, something right there.
It's a really cool thing. It was really useful when I was studying for exams, because you can go through a lot of money trying to study for wine exams because you need to taste so many things side by side. So this is gonna take too long though. So I'm probably just gonna open this bottle, and it's one that I love. What are y'all drinking? Let me start there. Enough about it.
I need to pause and run upstairs because I had a bottle of wine for tonight and I just didn't grab it. So you all
go
grab
it. We'll let Kyle start it off because Kyle has.
I have a kind of a cornucopia of things.
Yes,
right now.
Kyle has all of these things.
So,
all right, Kyle, tell me what's up. What are you having?
That's why I said that I was going to say let's enjoy all the fermented grains out here. So this is a sake. It's a drip sake. So they'll take the koji, treat it, and they'll put it in like these bags. And then they'll add the yeast and allow the fermentation process, and it drips down into like I don't know the term for it, whatever the container is, the vat. And it's very low yield, but phenomenal. Yeah, because
it's like sake gazpacho. I've actually had 2 of those before. They're super smooth.
Super, it doesn't. I would not drink it and think that this is an alcoholic taste. And then I'm not sure what your opinion is on blends, but I have a more or less a white blend. It's from the same company. So these people, they make sake, they make beer, and they make wine all in the same thing. So, I mean, it's all the same kind of different fermentation processes. But this is just it's a white blend. It's super sweet. The first thing I wanted to like ask you is, and I wanted to relate it to comics almost just straight off the bat. So comics have an aroma, and I'm not sure how many people actually smell their comics and but like you open up a new comic and it has a certain smell, or you open up there was a comic that came out, it was Lego Ninjago, and I swear it smelled like a box of Crayola crayons. And it was ridiculous. How much does the aroma? Because this is a very aromatic wine, and I was just wondering.
Did I just come back to a man saying he sniffs his comics? I just want to just.
Yeah, I sniff it.
Kyle is high on something else right now.
I'm gonna go to the back room.
I sniff my comics. Why is that weird?
I won't judge.
Now you can go there, Kyle. But let's ask what's going on inside the wines.
Robot Sans
said the
back.
word aromatic.
I did say the word.
Beep, yeah, boop, bop, boop.
You're fine.
Aromatic was actually the right word. The sense of smell in wine. First of all, the sense of smell that you have and the way a wine smells can vastly affect the way it tastes to you, right? Kind of like with comics where it might be trash once you read it, but if that cover is fire, you still want the cover, right? A lot of you probably have books in your collection that you don't really give a shit about the story, but the cover is fire.
Or you haven't opened it because it looks so beautiful sitting on the wall.
Yes, there you go.
Yes, we are talking.
Wines can be like that too. Like there can be wines that smell extremely, the aromatics they normally fall into fruit and floral. For primary notes. Secondary notes, it can get herbal, it can get nutty, it can get umami, it can get a lot of stuff. But in younger wines, it's normally going to be fruit or floral, honestly.
Or if it's spoiled vinegar.
It smells like vinegar. Do not drink it or cook with it. It's gone bad.
If your comic books smell like mold, probably throw them out.
Because if your wine or your comics have been sitting in a dank environment, they both seen the end of their.
Wait a minute, but you say wine sitting in a dank environment, just like wine, just like and we say, okay, let's put them away. It could be valuable in 20 years. We see people with wine cellars. We see people with kind of like these big chill environments, and they're like, "Oh, this is a 1978 Shiraz," and what's the deal with aged wine, and how does it work?
Well, first I'm gonna need some
So
aluminum foil for your antenna because you keep coming in as Robotron.
We
I
we
know,
I
understood
don't know. I
about,
don't know if I need to have Megatron here to translate what just went down, but it
but
was
with
not
with
English.
how with how
Things were
Sans
done.
talked, we understood at least 85% of it.
yes.
Oh my God!
So aged wine is funny, right? Like it has
Yes.
to be. I think that it depends on the style of wine. That's one.
Mhm.
And then it's your personal taste. So like I love champagne. I drink champagne all the time. I
Interesting.
personally like old champagne. A lot of people that I drink with do not like old champagne at all. For me,
Okay.
the
Dry?
base of a good champagne starts with a good base wine because all champagne, like people don't know that, it begins as a still wine, right? And then
Correct.
it's a
Yeah.
fermentation process that gives it bubbles. The hallmark of a good champagne is that even if all the bubbles are gone, it still tastes amazing. So I like aged wines. In reds, there are some wines that when just the nature and the chemistry of the grapes, they have a lot of tannin when they're young, like Cabernet Sauvignon, Sangiovese, Nebbiolo. I'm gonna pretend I don't see that is what you're drinking. Or that
What is it?
Tannin-
What is it? I don't know.
Now tannins are when the only way that I was told to tell if a wine has tannins is you would see it kind of run down the glass. Is that correct,
someone
or is that
lied
wrong?
terribly.
Okay.
You cannot see tannin. You can only taste it. And when you think of tannins, you want to think about, if you make a cup of tea and you leave the tea bag in there too long.
Okay.
And so when you try to sip that tea, you get this really bad, like grippy feeling in the back of your jaw. That's
like
kind of what tannin is. It's what'll make you pucker. And the
Interesting.
counter to that in wine would be acid, which would make you salivate.
Okay.
So all red wines have tannins. Tannins are found in the skin of grapes.
Okay.
So if you start seeing like orange wines that now people are getting into, you get a little bit of tannin because those wines so orange wines aren't really orange. They're just wines that red wine gets its color from the skins.
Okay.
So when you press the juice out of all grapes, it's the same color. Red wines get their color because they let that juice sit on the skins for a little bit. Orange wines get their color because they sit on the skins of green grape. She looked at you like it was Mad Dog 2020. It is the equivalent of Mad Dog 2020.
So Bogu is not a good brand.
It's okay.
It's
Sans.
like-
I'm about to save you. Ready for this? I'm gonna do the ultimate crime in red wine. You ready for this?
He's gonna pull out Franzia in a
It's got the
box.
ice in it.
Oh
Oh
no!
my God.
The ultimate crime of red
I'm
wine
hanging
right here.
up.
So there's no ice in wine, right?
There's one place in the world that does it. And if you ever go to the south of France, if you go to Saint-Tropez, they love putting ice in their rosé. It's very interesting. But only rosé.
The only ice wine that I know of is when they actually let the grapes freeze on the vine.
Dessert wine.
You are
Yeah.
a scholar in here. That is exactly what
Oh
ice
my
wine
God.
or late harvest wine is.
I love. They always, but it's another low yield thing. You only have like.
Matt, do we know this about Kyle? What?
Kyle
I'm
wants to
a
go to Canada
scholar.
with me for Ice Wine Festival because when you go to Niagara Falls and the wineries up around Niagara Falls in like November, December when those grapes are freezing, Kyle, we could have some fun.
I don't think you
right
understood.
up here in the Finger Lakes in New York. I love ice wine from the Finger Lakes. There are some great wines being made right here in New York. Kyle, you didn't name me. You're the resident scholar here already.
I
Take
know a lot about alcohol.
This is crazy. So
I mixed up my terminology on tannins though. What is it
That's
called
okay.
when it like slowly droops down the glass?
The coating of the
Everybody
glass
has fallen in love with legs, and the
Legs,
only
thank you.
thing legs actually tell you. So I've spent a lot of time and I'm a pretty good blind taster. What legs can tell you about a wine is how much sugar is in it.
Okay.
The slower, so that is probably molasses in that glass is taking forever.
Just slowly goes.
That is a very slow fall with those legs.
Sans is drinking honey.
Yeah,
Do me a favor. Next time, use my
listen.
super chat for $10 to get the next bottle up. I mean,
Bro,
Hey, that's how much my bottle cost. I think it was $11.
Well, actually, does price really matter as much? Because I'm interested in your take on this, by the way. So
yes,
okay.
it doesn't mean that it's good or bad, right?
Yes.
I've had
it's the process.
wines worth thousands of dollars where I'm like, meh. And some of my favorite wines in the world are under $40. So
Fair. Okay.
and it matter, yeah. In America, and wines produced in America, yes, it matters because it's actually really expensive to make wine in America.
Interesting. Okay.
Average bottle of wine, so not mass produced, so not Josh and not Bogle, but the average bottle of wine, the grapes in the bottle, there's 40 different sets of hands that have to touch that wine before it ends up in your glass.
Okay.
And we're talking about from the vineyard to who picks, to who presses, to the cooper that's making the barrel, to the artist that does the label, to the glass, to the person that assembles the boxes. So it's a lot. When you have those mass-produced wines, it'll normally say red blend or something like that because it's whatever mass grapes they got. It's a very commercial press. Like there's not really anything. It's like the equivalent of a McDonald's burger, right? Like by definition, is it a hamburger? Sure. But if you wanted to give somebody a good example of a hamburger, would you take them to McDonald's? No.
Did she just reference my drinking tonight to McDonald's?
I did.
So tonight I witnessed Kyle eat a strawberry from the back end, and quite frankly, me and you are bottom feeders, Sans.
Wait, are they both?
Y'all are where I am on my comic journey. You're just learning.
I was about to say, let's turn the comics on her.
I need a 5-minute break right.
So
right ambassador, you got this.
So Hulk 181 is worth a lot of money, but it's not a good book.
I gotta agree with you there.
And there's so much of that in wine. Like I'm telling you right now, if you buy Veuve Clicquot, Moet, you're spending way too much money on champagne that is not the best.
What about the influenced ones? You got Ace of Spades. Are they good? Are they worth it? Or is it better to know about these things?
First of all, you have to get off dial-up. I hear
you. You are now blurry.
What is going on?
This man is always online too. There's no reason and no excuse for him to come in with like robotic sounds. I think what he was trying to say was about lower priced wines and like kind of like the bigger companies. I think he was asking about like Ace of Spades of like, is it worth it? So I want to preface this whole thing like it's all jokes and stuff, but I firmly believe that you should drink what you like. Yeah. And
I may not like it, love it, or want anything of it, but if it makes you genuinely happy, enjoy it. Yeah. For me, it's more of like, I don't know the comic equivalent of it, but you guys can help me. Like,
absolutely.
It's like something being hand-drawn versus something that's like just a photocopy, right? Like there's just so much more of an artisanal quality.
Yo. Okay. I could relate it back to you, right back at you with champagne. Okay. My favorite champagne is I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation, but it's Pierre Jouet. Yeah, thank you. Hand painted bottles.
Ooh, wait, I'm gonna grab a bottle of that. Hold on.
Yeah, dude. Because it is so relatable to comics and art and everything. It's like the perfect like amalgamation of everything.
So I'm
The
gonna
fact
give a
that-
visual for what you're talking about.
Yes. Okay. So this is a hand painted flowers on it on every single bottle, and he is unfortunately passed away since. And now in my opinion, I I can now buy the bottle for $45 because it doesn't have hand painted on it now. But
Yeah.
that bottle has made appearances in like 30 to 40 different movies. It's always what they're popping on the set of like certain films. And that's what allowed me to introduce myself to that champagne.
I
And
love this for you.
it's very dry and just amazing. So
This is one of the hand painted bottles. It's one of the last ones.
it's nuts.
This is a bottle from 2014. This is
Okay.
their Cuvée Belle Epoque. This is
Oh.
probably $500-600 now because there just aren't many of them left.
No, there aren't.
I have a good relationship with this house. I've been there a few times. So the founder were a husband and wife team, and the wife was an artist and the husband was a botanist. So they actually, you brought up aromatics earlier. They are very, very much a house of aromas. And if you guys do follow me on Instagram, they actually had an event like last summer where they did this whole like sensory exploration of the house. They brought like chalk soil. So Champagne is the weirdest place ever. It's actually you would think that anything could grow because it's cold, it's gross. The soils are fertilized by pretty much every global conflict that has occurred on that side of the world.
Oh no.
And it's chalk, like it's actual chalk soil. So the vines have to work really hard to get down and get water and get nutrients, but it's a super dope place. Kyle, you're so dope that you know about Perrier Jouet Belle Epoque. A beautiful bottle, great champagnes, light, dry, effervescent.
It's delicious.
So we have bashed Sands under the rug enough. He had to go buy another bottle.
This is my original bottle I was gonna open.
That's ice wine. That's a small bottle. It's a dessert bottle.
Yeah, is this a dessert bottle? What is going on with this one right here?
That is a bottle that's normally for a dessert or ice wine.
Wolfer Estate. It's
so that's Long Island. It's their late harvest, isn't it?
Yes, late harvest 2012.
There you go. Yep. Boom. Like it's that simple. And going back to what you're saying, the equivalent would be like buying a comic book or buying the original art of that page in a comic book or the cover. Like that's how I equivalent a hand painted bottle versus like what they're mass producing right now, or not mass producing, but like producing now because the artist has passed away. So
let me ask this, and am I still Robo Sands right now? Can you guys hear me?
No, you sound like you.
No, you're good. Yeah, and you look good too.
I had to reboot right now because Robo Sands is not needed. But when we talk about comics, we have this kind of, especially on this show, we're looking at the sophisticated approach of things. So bringing wine and comics together is something that we're really interested in. You are doing something this year with regards to music.
Just speak slowly and we'll get it. Okay.
Music and wine. I want to bring that to comics and wine. Talk about this music and wine stuff that you're doing along with comics and wine.
So I've done a lot of things I believe that making wine relatable is how you get more people to drink it. And
absolutely,
as I said in the beginning, like I love collecting vintage vinyls. I'm a music junkie, and oftentimes what I'm drinking equates to what I'm listening to. It equates to my mood. And, like grapes have their own characteristic. Like right now I'm drinking Syrah. Syrah, no matter where you drink it from in the world, like it's a very robust grape. It's big. It can have high alcohol, high sugar, high tannin, but sexy. It's always velvety, depending on where it's being grown and who's producing it. Kind of like, when I listen to you guys go off on like which artist drew this cover, and like you just know their work when you see it.
Absolutely.
I can taste this blind. Like people see people blind taste and do this and taste it and are able to figure out the grape. It's not a parlor trick. You actually can, because you become so familiar with the characteristic of the grape, what it smells and tastes like when it's grown somewhere cold versus somewhere warmer, when it's aged in French oak versus new oak. So you start to, the same way you guys pick up on these elements of
I like it.
comic books, we
Sans.
pick up on
Please hold the glass by the stem, Sans. Please.
Oh my God. No, he didn't.
Got no stem.
There we go. My man was like this.
I'm allowing the stemless because you have ice in it. You know what the funny thing is about stems and glass? I'm gonna call out my own snobbishness.
Go for it.
The science of this is, because I'm a dork, right? So science says I don't have enough warmth in my hands. There's not enough Kelvin units in my hands to actually hold this glass and warm this wine if I chose to hold it like this. The glass just looks like shit if your paw prints are all over it, right? It looks terrible. And you cannot do this. You can't open up the aromatics of the wine. You look like it's your first communion again.
You just told me I ate at Walmart, so I mean, I feel like I'm
but
we ate at McDonald's.
We're so full of shit with it because I've had amazing wines out of solo cups on somebody's boat or on the beach or something like that. So
you drink out of what you can.
It's some snobby shit, but we can keep it classy on here.
I want to go classy. Classy. Every year I go to the Finger Lakes. My wife says, "Let's go." We go away. We every year. All right. We go out on a Friday. We start at 10 o'clock when they start opening. By 12, I don't even know the difference of wine. They all taste the damn same. Just, honey, you pick the bottles. I'll pay for them. Just put them in the car. Let's go. Like, you pick them. I'll pay for them. What can I do to taste the difference between 15 wineries in a 4-hour span?
Oh my God.
Where are we on our scale of maturity right now?
In terms of what?
At the top.
Like,
honestly,
I'm going to say something that you guys are going to have a good laugh over, but it's absolutely true.
Go for it.
If you're tasting, you got to be a quitter because you got to spit. If you're tasting to actually remember and think about notes and all of that stuff, you have to spit. If you're drinking, you're drinking. But if you're in the Finger Lakes and you're drinking Riesling and Cabernet Franc, you've got, you're not a professional drinker. You've got 8 glasses tops. There's so much acid in those wines. You've got 8 glasses before your tongue is numb. Everything tastes exactly the same and you're just getting drunk.
So wait, you said if you're trying to taste, you have to what?
You gotta spit. I have. I love Ric Flair.
Damn!
How many lumps do you want? 3 or 4.
That's the live look of me texting my wife telling her that. I'm just letting you all know.
I asked where we were on the maturity level.
100% off the chart. Like literally, I have screenshotted the timing of this thing, and I'm literally in her inbox right now. Watch at this point on.
So when you're tasting, really what you want to do, our tongues are scientifically designed to taste different things at different points. So if you're just tasting the wine, when you're blinding, you're going down a grid of things. You'll smell first or taste first. It's up to you how you do it stylistically. But one part of your tongue will pick up sugar. Another part will pick up salt. Another part will pick up, tannin and acid. To detect acid, really what you do is you take a sip of the wine, you lean forward, and you see how long it takes for you to almost spit on yourself. It's disgusting. But it's a very good way to determine if a wine has low, high, or medium acid.
Gotcha.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of really sophisticated people spit on themselves using that trick, but it is true. It does work. But I feel like if you're on a wine vacation and you're just chilling, I don't know that you should spit out wine though. It's just a lot. Your tongue will get very, very over.
How do you cleanse your palate? How do you keep it going? Like, say you do taste a couple of wines, and all right, we move to the next vineyard. How do you kind of reset your palate at that point?
Crackers or Modelo?
Modelo, interesting.
Best champagne reset you can have.
I'm literally drinking Keaton and
beer will do it. But
and eating crackers.
Like, that's also going to get you drunk. Crackers are actually the best thing to do it.
Yeah.
But like, I think that if you're on vacation with your wife, do you really care? Like,
I won't lie to you. I will buy every bottle of wine that Thirsty Owl Wine Company produces. They are my top. Them just for some reason, everything at that point, just put the whole case in the car. I'm good.
Honestly, every winery is counting on you doing that.
What's your in the Finger Lakes? What's your top? So if we were to go again, what would you pick?
Herman J. Weimer, Red Tail, Constantine Frank. Those would be my top three for sure.
Okay. So is the West Coast or East Coast producing kind of the better wines right now? And is there a Midwest wine at all?
So wine is actually grown. Great wine grapes are grown, and wine is produced in every single state of the United States of America.
Oh wow!
Absolutely, yeah.
Every single state. I actually had a wine from Montana the other day. I'll never do that again. No disrespect to anybody that's here from Montana, but no. It's produced in every single state.
We just lost viewership in Montana.
So sorry, Montana.
Man, there goes our 2 subscribers.
Yeah. All right.
My aunt lives in Montana.
I'll get 2 people to subscribe to make up for that. But I mean, I think it's what you like, right? Like, if you're East Coast, you like cooler climate wines. So when we're talking about the Finger Lakes, California doesn't make good Riesling. It's too hot there, right? Mm-hmm. Riesling is the home of it is Germany and Austria and Alsace-France. It actually needs cold at night. The West Coast is funny because if you're in Napa on the floor, it's hot all the damn time. If you go a little bit north, from Napa, north of Napa. Paso is northwest of Napa. Paso Robles can be 93 degrees all day long and drop to 40 degrees at night. And that's called a diurnal shift. And wine grapes actually love it because they get to get all that heat during the day, produce sugar, spike acid, but then they get to kind of like relax and cool off.
Yeah. And it's closer to the ocean too, so
and some of it, right? Because there are great wines from like Howell Mountain and Calistoga that get no coastal influence at all. But then you have wines from Santa Barbara, which are some of my favorite wines ever from California, that get a lot of that coastal influence. I'm looking at the chat. Hi, Guy. Who's the Binging Snowfall? Who's the sister sommelier giving love? Oh, hi. That's so cool. Thank you. I'm Shakira.
You're crushing right now. So
yes, absolutely. Welcome once again, Shakira Jones.
We got player.
You have your sommelier degree, correct, or certain degrees with wine. You also know whiskeys and other things, but this isn't your day job. You're kind of a techie and everything else on top of this. How does one get into wine when you're kind of in technology, or what? You're like head of technology at some point in time, right?
Because studying Python requires alcohol.
That right there.
It's so boring.
I drink because of my job, and my job is to drink, right?
Let's go.
I think I was talking to Matt, and I think I was interviewing you, and I was like, these guys do the same damn work. I don't know what's going on. No wonder.
Dude, you need to
so good.
Shakira, I did not mean to answer your question, by the way.
Oh no, but
I can relate. I can relate to it. So.
Tech will stress you the F out. But I started in wine. So originally, by true academics, I'm an economist. So I started my career in investment banking. And that meant going to a shit ton of really nice restaurants on people's expense accounts. which
Yeah.
I enjoy doing.
It's a business meeting.
But it used to be quite intimidating because, you know, like your senior partners and your managing directors would fuck with you. Like you're at this table with all of these like really affluent guys and you get handed like this book that's this thick. You don't know what the fuck it's saying, and the price points are all over the place and it doesn't make sense. And I just don't like feeling uncomfortable anywhere. Like I learned how to play golf so that I didn't feel marginalized when partners were talking about golf. I'm that kind of person. So my foray in wine started that way. And then my friends and I went to NYU for undergrad, and I'm of a certain age. So we were in college around the time that Sex and the City was really popular. So my friends and I would try, because we didn't have that much money yet, we would try to go to all the places where like the Sex and the City women went. So Brasserie 8.5 and Balthazar and Sushi Samba and all of these cool places is where I really liked going. And then I'm a perpetual nerd. So then I started talking to more people and started to taste with intention and going, I've had Syrah before, but it damn sure didn't taste like this. Why is this different? And then you fall down a rabbit hole. And then suddenly I'm studying for something again. But I really focus on making wine relatable. So my podcast, like I'll relate wines to party guests. Like everybody's had a party where like somebody brings a friend and there's 3 people that love this fucking friend that you bought. Can't get enough of them. The rest of the party is like, why the fuck did you bring this dick? I don't know.
Yeah, that's the same way every
That's when
show.
I take Matt anywhere, man.
And I mean, now it's true. You know, I get DMs all the time like, hey, my friend is having this dinner party. What should I bring? Or this is what I'm making for dinner. What should I have? Or all of these things. And sometimes it's like, oh, right? What do you like? And then other times it's like, well, if you don't know, like if you're going to someone's house and you don't know what they're cooking, there's a certain type of wine that you'd want to have because you don't want to bring something that's going to completely go against or clash with something. So you want something that's a little kind of middle of the road.
Just don't bring Bogle, guys. Don't bring any
Not
Josh or
Bogle. Oh, what's the best wine produced in the world, period? I don't know that I haven't.
What is it and where is it?
I mean, when you can only afford
I think it's more. It's
It's not Napa.
Where's the best wine?
So it's gonna be France, right?
It's not Napa.
It's definitely not Napa.
For me, it's not France either.
I like
it's not Napa. So personally,
hold on. I know what my favorite is. Go ahead.
Personally,
I have to look it up. I don't know this translation.
Let me think. I think, Dennis, I'm going to ask you, how would you define best? Like most enjoyable to drink, most interesting, if I was on death row bottle, like what?
Death row.
What,
I mean,
I think
you pretty much hit on there. Like, if this was your last
your last meal,
this is what it's going to be. That's what I want to know.
It is 100% going to be champagne from a legendary vintage. So 83, 2002, 2008, Krug, or 89 Cristal, like something just ridiculous. Like
where is that produced at? That's
in Champagne. That's a legendary.
I'm right now for you, Sands. Don't worry, I'll get you numbers in a minute. 89 Cristal. Let's see what the going rate is.
I don't even know if you can buy it, if you can find it.
Now, let's equate this to comics, right? Because this is what we do here. You just said you're a collector. You collect wines. Your wines appreciate. What are some of the most expensive wines you may have collected over the past couple of years?
Funny enough, it's wines that I don't drink that much. So my niece was born in 2013, and for everybody that's saying Italy, 2013 was one of the most exceptional vintages of current times in Italy for Barolo and Barbaresco. And Barolo generally isn't ready to drink for 5-10 years anyway. But if you knew, you bought a lot of producers that 5 to 12 years down the road, those wines are good. So my niece is 10 and her wine collection is about 20 bottles now, and it's worth well over 30 grand.
Oh my God.
Holy crap.
We need to get them super chats going.
Oh my God.
Anyone that wants to donate, I found a 1989 bottle of Cristal, a little under $3,000. So I appreciate we started the dollar frame. We can go as high as 20, but it's for a great cause tonight, folks. If you can.
And it's so crazy. So I think, 89, both the regular Cuvée Cristal and Rosé, which they don't make every year, they only make it in like the most exceptional vintages that they have. So, fun fact about champagne. Most champagne that you buy, you'll see NV on it, or there will be no year. Because most champagne is non-vintage. They're using, champagnes are almost all blends. And they use reserve wines from many, many years before, almost like the way they make sherry with the Solar system. But in the years when it is exceptional, 12, 14, 8 to the entire area, the AOC of Champagne declares a vintage. And those are the years that you'll see champagne with an actual year on it. That means that that year was so good that those wines are made with only grapes harvested that year. Those are the
say those years again for us. Say those years again.
So for champagne, well, let's go from least afford. The older it is, the less affordable it's going to be.
Got it.
So right now, like the newest ones that I've purchased are, well, I have 14 Cristal. I think that's like $300-400 a bottle now. But in another 5-7 years, they'll double easily.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing to know.
Oh, I should have shared the picture. So I also got to drink 89 with the man that's been making all the wines for Roderia, for Cristal, and for Dom Perignon. Makes all those wines. And I got to taste those two wines with him side by side. And it was probably one of my like top 3 moments in wine ever.
Oh my gosh. So you actually got a chance to meet the producer, creator, and taste wine with him.
He's kind of one of the most amazing. I think I made a reel about it where I'm like, when the producer of Cristal asks you, which do you like more, 89 regular Cristal or 89 Rosé? And I think I did the Shannon Sharp voiceover, like BOAF. Both. I'm drinking
both of them. Oh my God.
Has there ever been a moment where someone has put like, all right, here's an example. I am a huge whiskey drinker. No matter what, whiskey is my thing. You could take me anywhere. I know it, just like you would feel with wine. My wife, for our anniversary, took me out to Dublin. We went to Cork to the Jameson Whiskey Factory, and I got their Select Vintage Reserve. It's like $300 a shot. Yeah. And she paid top dollar for this tour for me, the whole shebang. And it got to the point where she was to drink it, and she almost went right to the bucket. Like, just couldn't handle it. And I was like, honey, I don't care what you do. That's $300 a shot. You will send that my way.
You will.
Is there ever been a wine?
Pour it in my mouth.
Yeah, there's ever been a wine that has been like off the charts expensive that you just been like, thanks, but no thanks? Spill it.
The answer is going to be no, because I've rarely been the one paying for those wines. But I have been unimpressed by some of the most expensive wines in the world. Like,
is there a box wine that's blown you away?
Yeah, actually,
that's a great question.
Yes, there are actually some
with boxes of wine.
Oh, I love box wine.
There are some good box wines being made, but they're not in cardboard. They're in like the crates, like what they put. So the thing is, wine is alive, right? So the more you keep it away from air, heat, or extreme cold, like it's fine. You know, and most people, you know, like European drinks very different from America. Most people in America consume whatever they buy within 5 days of purchasing it, right? We don't actually have a lot of collectors. So I don't think you should actually spend a lot of money on these wines. Somebody wrote, if they're going to piss it out, well, I don't spend a lot of money on the wines that I'm going to piss out. Just like if you're just going to open the book, a comic, read it, maybe give it to your kid, you don't really give a shit, you're not going to spend a lot of money on that. but the
Correct.
things that you're going to cherish. Like, think of the wine. So for me, the wines that are expensive are the wines that you equate it to the books that you would slab. Right.
It's yeah. I would use even
Slab
more
or-
terminology.
So a Spider-Man number 7, that would be like a box wine, is what you're saying. I just want to make sure I heard that
Spider-Man
correct.
7 alone, man. That's like her saying it's a great year to buy.
No.
You buy
No,
in
no,
whole.
no, no, no.
Right?
We were on a
Didn't you say
different
there's certain years
frequency.
where you buy in whole?
Hold on.
No, I'm
Hold
sorry.
on. It's the real statement is reader copy versus collector copy. There's stuff that you are going to use and you're going to utilize.
Why you gotta be that
because
guy?
I'm
Kyle?
actually
Why you gotta be
okay.
that guy?
Okay,
Why can't you
hold
just
on.
let her?
Can I
Keep
He's
saying
so
box
right.
wine.
Hold on. Dennis, can I answer Dennis's question?
About forgery?
No, about.
Oh, I can answer this.
No, actually, go. Well, let me jump back to his previous question. I was a little bit confused on where, because he said where is the best wine produced.
Got you.
I broke it down into 2 categories. It's basically what you like. Try the different grapes. My favorite red wine would be like a Malbec.
Okay.
It's some kind of European region, I guess. But my
Malbec
favorite white
from its home or Malbec from where people think it's from. I'm curious in the chat. Where does everyone when you think of Malbec, where do you think it's from?
That's a good one. And then my favorite white wine, which is going to be, if you're going to ask the same question about the white wine, this is going to be very apparent. Rioja Verdejo is my favorite white grape. But that's very, very Spanish. So there's no
Time traveler, folks. I mean, he's had some time to figure this out.
So
Okay?
on it.
I do want to know where do people think Malbecs are from?
Canada.
Malbec.
South America. Yeah, so most people.
Hold on.
Malbec.
Before you answer, let me get a poll going up.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah, just do the poll. And then can you answer the forgery question while we wait for people to start populating?
Wait, which question? What's the best? I'll tell you.
Tell us about the forgery going on in the wine market.
Oh my God. So there's a really good movie that you guys can watch. If you haven't watched it yet, it's called Sour Grapes. One of my mentors that actually taught me some crazy, he's one of the best blind tasters I've ever met in my life. His name's Rajat Par. Indian guy, makes some of the best wines in Santa Barbara and Santa Rita Hills you can drink. He's in that movie. But it is a guy that is, I think in the end, we found out that he was from Korea or something like that. But he got so many people, and it was good because it was the guys that make wine unapproachable to most people. Like the snobby, dickish, old, I love every white man on here, but all the old snobby white guys that you guys don't even go. First Montana and now white guys. No. I'm talking about the old, pale, stale country club white guys that immediately start pontificating about, like, I recently went to a tasting. It was so funny.
That's a fun word.
Very, very large. Pale, stale white male. It's very much how we refer to half the men we
Kyle,
know.
we good. We don't fit that demographic.
Yeah, I don't fit that category at all. But I was at a tasting of Burgundy, which, if you want to know the most expensive wines in the world, they are 100% from Burgundy. I think DRC last vintage, if you broke it down by like price per grape based on the price of the bottle, it was like $70-something per grape.
Whoa! Jesus.
It's ridiculous. So Burgundy collectors are the worst. And really, you should drink white Burgundy more than red Burgundy if you want to taste some really good white wines. But I went to this tasting, and I'm standing on a line to talk to somebody that I actually already know. His name is Jeremy Cias. Him and his wife make wines from Domaine Dujac. Some of the most expensive wines in the world, too. But they are the most down-to-earth people ever. So I'm standing in line, and this man that I do not know just starts going, "Oh, my God. You've never had these, have you?" I don't answer him because I don't know what reason you would have to assume I've never had these wines, right?
Okay.
So you're in for a treat. Yeah, I've had these. Have you ever been to Burgundy? I've been to Burgundy probably more times than any Black person I know, but okay, we'll let it go. And he's just going on and on and on and on. I would drink with Ron Burgundy before the men that I'm describing right now. Ron Burgundy's fucking awesome, and I would love to drink with Ron Burgundy. But this guy's just going on and on and on. And now, like, we get to the front, and I'm like, Jeremy! And he comes from around, the producer comes from behind the table, gives me the biggest hug ever. Like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in months. When are you coming back to Burgundy? We have this great conversation. And before I walk away, I go, oh, he has Maurice Saint-Denis 2016. I'm sure you've never had that because it's never been in America. You're in for a treat. Like, motherfucker, don't try me. Don't try me today. Don't try me tomorrow. Don't try me ever.
Just a great moment right there. Oh my God. That is how you do it. That is how you do it. But what is going on with this forgery? Like, I am literally intrigued with forgery and all
it's another comic tie-in too.
So are there how do you forge comic
forging
book?
signatures? You could forge signatures in comics.
So this is a
fakes.
It's a printed medium.
Okay.
You can, if you own a printer, like, you can literally make whatever you want.
Yeah, you got people selling on eBay like, oh, here's a Hulk 181, but it's a photocopy basically.
Yeah,
like, here, we put it in a slab for you.
The JPEG files are available online basically, and you can print it out, and it's just put together with staples. There's nothing that signifies the difference between it.
Liz, how the hell did you know that? I know.
Whoa, Liz!
I was born in
Liz.
2015.
When
knows her stuff.
When
Matt gets
back, we're gonna unveil something too. So,
but no, you're right. So the forgery in wines are, they play to ego, right? Like, you have wine is also one of the most suggestive things ever, right? So when I taste with people that aren't wherever their wine knowledge is, whether they think it's where mine is or isn't, I normally don't like to talk first, because if I do this and you think that I know stuff and I say, I smell strawberries, I smell raspberries, crushed gravel.
Or when Sands goes like this.
You said crushed gravel? No. Oh my God.
I could.
Oh no! No,
you're
gonna know. Wait.
Oh my God!
No, that was you. That was you this time. That was you.
Okay, that wasn't me. That was Shakira.
You are literally framed. Yeah, you're frame by frame putting your glass down right now.
And I'm not
moving. It's better now.
Okay, now you're good. Okay, welcome back.
Okay. So if I say these things, the power of suggestion is very real, even though I cannot tell you what you smell. So
what is that? That's being an influencer.
No, but it's wrong, right? Because I cannot tell you what you smell. Because think of it this way, like, there are some wines, if you've ever been in a wooded area after it rains and I say it smells like wet forest floor, that makes sense to you. If you're from the Bronx, that doesn't make any fucking sense to you, right? It could be true, but it's completely irrelevant to you. But if I say it smells like if you go in the garden section of Home Depot after it rains, that makes a lot more sense to a lot of people. So, people, when they use if you've ever watched any of the Psalm movies, shout out to Psalm TV. I'm in Psalm 4, just saying. If you've ever watched this movie, there's a famous part of a master sommelier, Ian Cobble, saying that something smells like a freshly opened can of tennis balls. And everybody's like, horseshit. That's completely ridiculous. It is not untrue if that's true to him. It's ridiculous that unless you've actually smelled a can of freshly opened tennis balls with intention, that doesn't do shit to you. Right.
That's fair.
So
I smell everything. So
I'm still hung up on the fact that I'm drinking McDonald's right now. So I'm just going to go back to that.
You are drinking McDonald's.
I am drinking the hamburger helper of wine.
You are
So-
drinking.
You're more the McChicken over there. Let's just keep it where
Who's
it's
got
at.
shaken,
Hey,
babe?
I got the McRib over here, y'all. Don't
Yeah,
even
that's
play
that.
me.
Don't you disrespect the McRib on a day
Nah,
like
the
tonight.
McRib is classic. There's no
Come on, there's
supplement for that.
levels of disrespect. Don't you go to that level.
No,
How
there's no other McRib. The McRib
How
is
is-
in there.
How is a wine forged? Is it just the label that's slapped on a bottle, or?
So it's weird, right? That no one actually knows. So the way
Oh,
they figured
no.
out in sour grapes, the way they figured out that he was full of shit was just there's no way you could have these. Like he would take a bottle. Julien Ponsat actually is the one that came to an auction in New York and called them out because
Wow.
he had put these wines in an auction and like this producer came in and was like, I didn't make that wine that year.
Ooh.
That's not the label that was on that bottle for that year. And then
Oh,
you have people
no.
whose jobs is like the forensics of wine, right? So if I have it's like if you had a comic book that was allegedly signed in 1979, the ink has to be faded. It can't look like I took a metallic Sharpie today and signed it. So they would find things like that where like you'd have a 1960 something bottle, but the capsule would look like this. That's not possible. Or like the foil would be brand new, but the label is very worn and things like that. The problem is people would just lie. Like people would lie and say, yeah, I totally had that bottle. And wine is so in America, it's such an exclusive thing, right? It's like, oh, have you had this vintage? Have you had that vintage?
Yeah.
Yes, no, maybe so. But if somebody makes you feel like you're having this exclusive wine, like people dick ride a lot.
My
If I
man
may-
Biggie Shack hit it home. She knows her wine stuff.
I
That's
do.
awesome.
I'm trying to learn my comic stuff like y'all. I'm trying to
And,
know.
and we're
what's
about to get into the
when I see
comic
it.
stuff. We're
There's
about to
so
get into
many
the comic stuff.
crossovers, though.
Where's
Like
Malbec?
literally.
Where's Malbec from? Where's Malbec?
Malbec
South
is.
America.
You said South America?
Yeah.
Actually,
I thought
no.
it was France. I thought it was
It
France.
is from France. The home of Malbec
Ah.
is France.
Only 14% of the people said France.
Get him
It
out
is
of here.
from
I can't handle
Cahors.
him having a win tonight. Look at me.
Cahors
Celebrating
is
over here. Look at
where
get
it's
him out of
from.
here.
But it's super popular in South America, though.
Well, it grows wonderfully in Mendoza and the Uco Valley of Argentina, but the home of it. And if you love Malbec, I really, really want you to go out. If you normally drink it from Argentina, go to your local wine shop and try to find one from Cahors, Cahors. The wines are exceptionally good, and they're not that expensive.
So let's transition to comics.
CAHRS.
Yeah,
Got it.
Because you started collecting comics, and when you look at a comic, what attracts you to that comic, and is it the same thing that you see in terms of your collection addiction to wine or anything else you collect?
I'm gonna go on a limb.
Thank you.
She's not buying any Spider-Man 7s. This is a sophisticated lady who's out here buying vintage, classic, rare comic books, top of the chart. She is not influencing people to buy garbage. She's here to buy the best of the best to experience the top.
I think I disagree with you. I think she's a.
It doesn't matter what you think. She's here.
No. Hold on. I want to hear his opinion, though. Please.
We have to be honest. Well, Sans then has to know his bias. Sans has known me for a long time, so he has a bit of an advantage over y'all.
So I think she's more interested in the cover, the art, and the way it presents.
There wasn't anything good about a dude flipping over a stoop. I mean, come on.
So you're both right. I am visually drawn to covers that are aesthetically pleasing. So in like joining the auctions and the stuff that you guys know, I love like the foil and the black and white covers. Like it's so good. So like the Platinum Superman, like I had to have that because that shit just looks amazing. So I very much like that Black Cat that's about to release. I need that. So black and white covers, those things. I like expensive things without knowing they're expensive. This is a true thing.
It's more about the taste versus the value or the price?
Some of the best wines that I've ever had are from Spain and Portugal. I mean, you mentioned Verdeo. I have old Verdeo that's still only about $60 a bottle.
Yeah.
P.S. Summer is coming. You should get into what Time Child was talking about. Those wines are delicious. You can drink a whole bottle of it.
It's so good. And it's reasonably priced.
No.
What is the Time
He's
Traveler?
too high class for our taste. Too high class.
Verdejo. I like Rioja Verdeo. Let me just type it in the chat.
What about this bottle
taste
of
it when he brings it to Connecticut?
Black Girl Magic or something like that?
It's so reasonably priced, and nobody
that matters. Damn it!
No.
It's like the poor man's
All right, you went from McDonald's to Arby's. All right, relax over there, okay?
He went to Five Guys. We can give him Five Guys.
I mean, you get free fries. I mean,
I'm not sure if you're referring to me, but I have a very tumultuous relationship with Five Guys.
Liz agrees with you. Platinum Superman is great.
My first girlfriend, I would take her to Five Guys like all the time because I just liked the fries. I wasn't really into burgers.
You know what I like? I like Sonic. I like Sonic a lot.
Girlfriend. There was no more after that.
Yeah, my only girlfriend. And like 6 months into our relationship, she turns to me. She goes, "I fucking hate Five Guys." And I go, "What?"
She hang on for 6 months.
I was like,
"That's love." She put up with Five Guys for so long.
I'm like, "Why didn't you just tell me there's so many other burger joints? It's not like this one's exclusive or like super good or anything."
Wait a minute, I didn't even know Five Guys were on the West Coast though, Kyle. Like,
yeah, there's tons of them out here.
I thought you were a Whataburger guy.
Whataburger.
In-N-Out Burger.
In-N-Out.
Burger.
Yeah, In-N-Out.
Yeah, from Rueda. Yeah.
So Spain was the country that I really, that was the first certification I got, was I became a Spanish wine scholar. I love those wines.
Wait, you have certifications from individual countries.
Good.
So yes, so I'm a Spanish wine scholar certified through the Wine Scholar Guild, which is also where I'm now a master level candidate for Champagne. And then I'm a certified sommelier through the Court of Master Sommeliers.
Oh my God. So you have to know the individual countries that produce the wine, not just like wine in general. This is blowing my mind.
Dude.
So Sans, what kind of comic book certifications do you have?
Yeah, what would be the equivalent? So I'll give you guys.
Remember when CGC was certifying all of those people?
That's fair.
That's what I don't have. And
I'll give
they
you
don't
some
even equate to
right?
that.
You know what my
So
certification is? I graduated from the certification of comic bullshit.
I'll take
influencers.
That. So I'll give you some frameworks. So like,
go for it.
The level of specificity when you choose to study one region and focus on it. Like for Champagne now, I need to know what wind comes in from east to west at what time of year. I need to know what direction, what river runs from east to west. Where does it originate? Where does it begin? What's the bedrock soil of that particular river? On this winery that has 10 hectares, what are the 9 soil types on that? So
do you have a Patreon that I could just subscribe to? You could just give me this information.
I'll give you all the information. You don't need to study this.
Let's connect. Let's connect offline because I need this. Because look, I need to just sit down and be like, oh, did you know this was in soil that was fertilized?
I will give you the most randomly impressive facts that you don't need to know for any reason.
I knew there was a reason I was looking forward to this.
Name. Hold on. So we have a certain thing where it's like name a comic title that's slept on that's really good and nobody talks about. Name a vintage that's slept on that's good that nobody talks about.
My first year from Bordeaux, 1981 Bordeaux. 1981
Bordeaux.
That wasn't BOGO, just so you know. So just not BOGO, Bordeaux.
Or wines from Napa.
Napa, California,
81,
or Napa?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Napa, California. 81 was kind of a shit vintage for most of the world. But it's kind of like a good artist, even if like the edition of Spider-Man that you're talking about. there's still people that can appreciate the artistry of who drew that cover. Like the storyline could be trash. I don't know, their pens ran out of ink or something, but there's still like the level of craftsmanship that could be recognized.
It's like Liefeld. You just don't trust his feet drawing, right? Like you
really,
don't want to see a Liefeld foot drawing, but everything else looks great.
So a bad vintage is that, right? It's like a chef that gets tomatoes from a non-optimal season that can still turn that into a great dish. So wow. I think that the bad vintages of wine are where you really see really good producers shine. So anyone was not a great vintage, but I have some exceptional birth year wines from 1981.
So wait, was 78 a good vintage?
78 is one of the most expensive vintages in Italy you can find. I told you, I have a bottle for your birth year that's, I think I bought it for maybe $200. And last time I checked, it's like $900 something now.
Let's go 78. Let's go, y'all.
78 in Italy was a spectacular year.
Now, you said last time you checked. Where are you checking?
So you can go on WineBid or Wine Searcher. That's normally our directory.
I'm familiar with this.
Wine Enthusiast and Wine Spectre put out a vintage report every year of like, if you're holding stuff from this year, this is the year to drink it. I do not. So
in comic terms, that's the comic price guide that's let out every year for those of you following along.
I love these crossovers, right?
There's so much. Like it's so nuts.
And it drives value. And so many times I disagree with it, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
A lot of times I have the wines and my trusty Coravin, that's what this is also good for, is that I think you guys do this too. When you buy something that you love, you don't just buy one of it, right? You buy multiple copies of it.
Exactly.
So if I love a wine, I buy normally 3 to 6 bottles of it, depending on if it's allocated or not, or how much I can get. Because there's
you use the same term.
That's the same terminology. It's the same term.
You're not getting all of the stuff you ordered.
We have allocations like
She's an
weekly.
Influencer.
Oh,
she is an influencer.
We do have allocations in wine, which is why if you follow me on Instagram, sometimes I don't post things because I know that there's no way you can get them because it's hard for me to get it.
That's just rude. Yeah. That's just rude. Like, why cut me out?
Yeah, because I wrote it. I have an article coming out where I write like, "Am I the drama?" Because I am. Like, I've introduced people to
influencers. I'm telling you,
I've introduced people to producers that like when they started drinking these wines, they were $50 a bottle. Now, A, you can't buy it. And B, if you can, it's like $95 a bottle. So it's no longer the value that I told you about when you bought it. Now it's just fucking expensive. It's still good though, and I still have it, but
I just
because I get allocation.
I'm McDonald's in my box.
You can always go to McDonald's. You know what about McDonald's? Them fries are consistent.
Them fries,
that's what makes it number one. The wines that you both have, they are intentionally supposed to taste the same way. Those wines are intentionally supposed to taste the same way every year. Whereas I don't want to taste the same thing over and over again. If one year was colder, if one year was warmer, if one year was wetter, I actually want to taste vintage variation.
But if you buy 5 bottles, you bought the 5 to be able to repeat the greatness that you got in that one bottle.
No, because I have bottles where I tasted it 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. The wine doesn't taste the same at all.
We have that with beer. It's called Mad Elf.
So what you're telling me that is that Spider-Man 7 I bought this year
tastes like
could
dog
be
shit.
Great in 2025 because it's going to hit different. Basically, you're saying it hits different every year.
We have
to
bring it back to a level of realisticism. It tastes like dog shit right now.
Think about like everything is cyclical, right? So like think about if when a cover came out and it was like holographic or foil, that was the shit, right?
Oh, wait, you just broke it down. Hold on.
That's like 3D pop-ups and pop-up
in the 90s. Do y'all remember the 90s? Everybody was like foiled out.
No,
And it's
everyone
like,
in the
oh
90s
my
wanted
God.
pop-ups.
And
dots,
then
dots.
it goes out of style, right? Then
It was
suddenly
out of
it's
style,
trash.
and now
But
it's
when
back.
those bitches come back, right? It's like now in New York, all these little girls were out buying juicy velour couture, like the 2-piece suits that my drug dealing boyfriend bought me in high school, right? Like,
I need that suit. I need that suit. Just
Oh my
saying.
God.
crazy.
Oh my God. Now we
What
have
is
a
going
special.
on?
We have a special unveiling. We have a special.
Wait. I have one more question before
One
we
more
move on to
Billy.
that.
One more question, but we want to unveil this.
I totally agree. You said that I was like a little bit of a scholar. However, there's something that I don't understand. When it comes to vintages, is it when the year that's printed on the bottle, is it the year that the grapes are harvested, or is it
Yeah.
the year? Okay,
Harvested.
that's
So like
all
for
I need to know.
champagne,
Uh-huh.
champagne can't even, like, by law, it
Mhm.
can't be released before a certain time. You like Rioja wines? Rio has the same thing. If it has Joven, Crianza, Reserva, Gran Reserva, that literally means the wine has to age for a certain time. In Rioja, it's in bottle and in barrel for X amount of times before you can release it.
Oh
So
my
like
God.
now it's 2023.
Yeah.
You can buy 2000 Grand Reserva. That's the most current release of Grand Reserva Rioja.
Wow.
That is mind blowing.
Because you need to have
Is
that
there any
time.
It
comic
has
that's
to
like
have
that?
Grand Reserva Rioja has to have 2 years in bottle, 3 years in barrel. So you can't
How
release
can
it
you
before
think of any
Christmas.
comic that's like that where like you can't buy it until it's like a certain age or
I
something?
mean, you just talked about pre-releases, right? Weren't you guys just doing selling books that aren't even on the newsstands yet and people were hyped to buy them? It's like a pre-sale.
No, it's called April.
Interesting.
With aging of comic books, it's mainly the price just goes up. It's based off rarity though, because it's the same thing with like a bottle of wine. A bottle of wine would increase in value if there were less of them out there because more
I
people drank
disagree
them.
though in some regards because some of the aging of comics, you got a dollar comic book that has always been a dollar comic book, but
Okay.
50 cents decides to make a new movie with Nicki Minaj or someone, and that book is now a $50 book.
The revitalization of it is
Yes.
very roller coaster like.
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
someone hits their stride, right? So there's a particular champagne producer that I've been drinking for years, but people didn't know his wines.
Okay.
And then LeBron, Carmelo, CJ McCollum, and Channing Frye were seen together.
Shannon Fry. Oh my God.
Channing
Yes.
and CJ are both great friends of mine. I had dinner with Channing.
We
last
saw on
week.
your Instagram you was having dinner with Channing Fry. You bump heads with a lot of celebrities and other people. This is part of being in the, like, I didn't know like basketball players and everybody was into wine this deep. Like wine is
They have money.
universal.
But it's different,
Wine is
right?
about money as well, though. Wine is about money and wine is universal.
I mean, there are some basketball players I'll never drink with. They have extensive collections, but they don't have good palates. So I'm gonna say it. Like, I don't think Melo has a very good palate. I think Melo has a lot of money.
Melo, we're looking at
When
you,
you have
Carmelo.
money, it's okay.
I think he has a lot of money. I don't think he has a good palate. I think that Channing has a very good palate, and he drinks with intention, and he drinks from around the world because you can't drink from one place and then claim to know things. It's like if you only focused on Stan Lee comics, right? You never explored anybody else's artwork. You never dove into anything else. Are you really an expert on anything but that? No.
You'd be like reading kids' books with dot to dot and color by numbers. So I mean,
right? Like so
you could be a Dr. Seuss expert, but you need to broaden your kind of horizon to be able to say.
I mean, look at what you got. Look at behind you guys. You have Funkos, you have plushies, you have comic. Like you are in this world and of it, so you understand value wherever you see it. It's not one particular medium. You understand value where you see it.
This plushie was handmade, ladies and gents. You
I
can
want one of
own it.
those.
You can own it too.
All right, I'm
for
buying one. Put my name on
$40.
it.
But it's 11:11, and we need to open something. Let's go.
So I made a mistake, and I don't know if anyone saw the panic on my face because I was literally cutting this box open, and I put a hole through the center.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And this box is not open on any sides. So, Liz,
Please don't tell me you did it. I'm gonna grab something real quick. I'll be right back.
like that is dead in the center of the box. So, I hope you did a fantastic job packaging this box because it's absolute crap. I saved the picture; it was right over here.
Jesus. Yeah, you had me so worried. What is going
You are
on?
the worst, Matt. You are the worst. Oh my
I mean, I made
God.
her wait the whole show. I might as well, like, make her
I
sweat.
opened this box with a katana, and I decided to spear it first to test the sharpness of the edge of the katana.
There was a brief moment that I did panic, though. So
I got smoked wings to go with this wine. I'm really excited about
Ooh,
it.
smoked wings.
Oh, don't
my
talk food.
God.
Don't
I'm
talk food.
so hungry.
Let's get it.
But we are a beverage, a art visual medium, and a consumable medium as well. So
All right. So Liz Barnes is by far the #1 fan of the Cookie Show, hands down. I don't care what you can fight this challenge till you're dead. You'll lose. I don't care what you say. You're wrong. You can tell me box wine is from McDonald's. You're also wrong. Liz Barnes has crushed us, and I have not looked at it. Liz Barnes has made us the official wine and cheese and comics please logo, and I again have not seen it. It's down. Do I take the plastic off, Liz? I feel like this needs a
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll.
wait. There's a note. Wine, cheese, and comics, please. The one of one exclusive. Oh, good. This is my certificate of authenticity.
he says my.
For Matt's site, Sands Group Collectibles not wanted.
Hmm.
You know why she said it to me, Sands? Because I'm better.
Because you no longer have a hobbits in your life. So she had to make
Look,
you
I don't
feel
need
good.
a Hobbits when I got a Liz Barnes. I mean,
Hi,
let's be
Sean.
real.
Yes. Hey, what's up, Soul?
I'm probably gonna flip this upside down. Let's hope I'm not. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
Am I upside down? I
okay.
can't see it.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
It's perfect.
Am I upside down?
Oh my God, no, it's perfect, bro.
I
It's
can't
perfect.
see it. Is it good?
It
That
is
looks
Yeah.
great.
so good.
What's going on like right
man.
here?
You got cheese, bro. You got Wolverine going through some cheese right there.
Wolverine penetrating some Swiss.
I don't think I can look at it. Is it really good?
It
pretty
looks
good.
glossy,
All right, let me hold it up again.
amazing. Oh my God, she even put the final touches on that.
Man,
That looks.
That's
Look at the
dope.
look at the Gandalf hat. Look at the Gandalf hat.
that hurts me. That hurts
The
me.
Gandalf
What?
hat. Y'all.
I love it.
She took it there. Oh my God.
This is your YouTube future, and here's my arm.
Oh
Why
my
does
This is amazing. And
That's
again,
dope. It's super
Liz
glossy.
Barnes, one of one.
So it's a acrylic on canvas. Who is watching along at home?
It's amazing on canvas.
That's so beautiful. What talent. I can't even draw a stick figure.
All right, let's figure out what this.
What's
is
crazy is
This is the
you
first
know-
Ra's al Ghul. I can go over there.
Did you just
Did
throw
he
it?
just cross?
It's the first penguin. I can go over there.
What the
Too.
heck is going on?
We're gonna put that right there.
He just
That's
tossed the first Ra's al Ghul across the room
It's okay.
and put Liz, we're
That's where it
not
belongs.
worthy. We're
Just
not
so-
worthy.
just-
There's an
Oh
Easter
my
egg.
God.
Man, I gotta
Just so
look-
you know, Matt
Oh,
planned that
no.
out, and there's
There better be
There's-
like a little trampoline.
there's like a
bag or something.
net to catch those.
Just like Joe
there's-
Gillier or somebody. He's like,
There's a blanket. There's no net.
yo,
All right, there's an Easter egg. What's the Easter egg?
That is
So,
talent because I can't
if
even
you
judge.
guys know,
Cookie Monster.
All right, what's
yes,
the
yes,
Easter egg? What's the Easter egg? Help me find it. What's the Easter egg?
the Easter egg. Hold on, let's go back to Matt. Let's
Let's
go
see.
back to Matt.
I
What
mean-
is the Easter egg?
My biceps are totally out of
Isn't it
context.
the O in comic?
Oh yes, because you did the Captain America
The
shield
Captain
that was
America shield
signed.
is in it, right? Am I
He
right?
was signed. I think
Is that
that's
it,
a big.
Liz? Is that lit, Liz?
It should be because the charity that you did with the
Yeah, the
Captain
charity.
America shield.
And it's
Shout
and-
out to Adeline Rose Foundation, the charity we do on an annual basis.
And it's funny because I had a secret topic for us
That had
tonight
to do with the
talk
Captain.
about. Is that it, Liz? Is that the Easter egg? This?
Well, there's the Cookie Monster eyes in there. The Cookie Monster
he-
eyes is in the
uh-huh.
sea.
Well, the eyes are down below because you're below me, so that may be true.
Y'all are
That's because I'm punching you in the balls going up.
I mean, you're looking up to Batman, so I mean, I understand the.
You're terrible. You're the worst.
This is amazing.
I think yeah. I got.
I'm blown
First
away by
off,
this.
First off, kudos to you, Liz. That is beautiful. That is absolutely gorgeous. And when we talk about wine and cheese and a sophisticated approach, this is sophistication. When we have Akira Jones on with a image of this type of stuff, we are raising the level of sophistication on this channel. Thank you, because Matt brings us way down.
I'm the bottom. I mean, I'm the reason that this show has growth because when you start so low, the only path is up.
Only way is up.
The
I'm
only
having
way is
so
up.
much fun. I was actually nervous that I would be completely out of my league with like the comic references because I'm so new.
No, do not. Oh,
Stop
you
throwing those
Batman
books.
181 across the room, bro. Oh my god.
Stop throwing the books.
He threw a first poison ivy across the room.
There's a very cringe level of
No competition up there now.
Now
Okay.
we have a guy in this industry called Pete, right? We call him Peddling Pete. And this guy rips up old vintage books and people goes nuts. So it's like someone taking, like you said, a 78 bottle that costs $300, opening it and pouring it out, just like fuck this wine. I'm good. And that's what Matt is looking like right now, because
I mean, I got a 101. I mean, what the hell's better than
it's
a
like
101?
a shock. It's like a shock jock.
Wow.
This guy does this, and he's like, this Hawk 181. Fuck you guys. If you guys don't want to buy it from me, I'm gonna tear it up. He just rips it in half, and we're like, yo, dude. Like, you have people in the comic book community sending videos like, yo, this guy is nuts. What is he doing to this beautiful like book from the 1960s and 1950s? And people are just going nuts. But guess what? He got 1,000 views off of that, and he got it. And it's just like anything else in this world where controversy sells. So that was Peddling Pete, man. But shout out Liz Barnes. That is beautiful. I gotta say, congratulations, Matt.
You comments forever. I have no interest in it. I have a 101.
It's like people drinking Napa Cab while eating oysters.
Say, look at you. You touched my heart.
We have 4 Hobbits signatures on this, ladies and gents. 4 Hobbits.
How much is that worth?
How much is that worth?
I know what it's worth to me.
It's worth far more than what I sold.
I know what it's
one
worth
of-
to me. It's priceless.
It's one of one at this point.
One of two.
One of two.
It has a brother.
Okay.
It is literally
okay. So
priceless.
it's like a part of the Deathly Hallows. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
I have a question for you guys on this stuff.
Yeah, what's
like
up?
I see, every time I join the auctions, I'm curious about. So in wine, we don't really sell anything in our collections, right? If you buy it to collect it, you keep it. But I see every
Hollows.
Oh, that's a Death Eater mask. Loves. But I see you guys, like, how do you guys determine what you hold, what you sell, what you flip, what you want to open up your inventory? Because wine is very different in that we don't generally, when you buy things to collect them, they stay in your collection or you drink them. You don't ever really sell them off.
And that's where you have differences in the comic book community. You have collectors who never sell anything. You have flippers who just know what's hot and they're going to buy it and they're going to flip that book. And then you have people who are in between, right? You collect certain things, but you will buy the stuff to flip so that you can fund your ability to shop, right? So like I have a book with Kyle that's worth like thousands of dollars. So I have to continue to flip books until I get that book from Kyle. That's basically how it works, right? You buy stuff. So if you see me with the hottest, latest goodies, because I'm known for having the variants and having these new books and having like you're never like when I bring out I put on my fedora and I go Silver Age Sands, you're like, damn, Sands don't really collect Silver Age, so that's got to be something different, right? But if I'm not really collecting a 1960 Batman like Matt, because that's not what I'm focused on. I'm focused on Miles Morales. That's what draws me into the comic book industry or stuff like that. I'll get a 60s Batman or 60s Silver Age, anything, but I'm quick to let it go if somebody gives me the right price.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I can get my hands on the grail for me, you have to find out what that person's grail is and what they're focused on in collecting, right? Because you got some people, just like you said, what's my birth year? Like my son's birth year is what, 2014? That might be like, you
gotta start buying champagne in his
Gwen
honor.
Stacy, right? Gwen comics, right? 2014. Get the first Gwen Stacy. Get all of these things. Those will equate to you. Like, so certain things will tell you, like, oh, I'm buying more modern type comics than 1960 comics. So there you go. That's how I look at it.
That's interesting. So like some of my allocations I'll sell. So there's a website, I guess the equivalent of like when you guys talk about the Freebase or whatever, where you sell comics.
Yeah.
So we have Wine Bid, which is so I think I've talked to some of you guys like, oh, I'm also bidding while I'm trying to bid on these comics. I'm also bidding on wine.
And yet the comics that you're bidding on is about $50, whereas the wine is like, oh, that's only $800 right now or $2,000. So
but it's the same thing as you, where I love wine, but there are certain wines that I collect, right? So I started by saying that I really like old champagne, and there's only at this point there's a finite amount of those bottles that were made. So if I can get my hands on them, they're also dying, right? Like wine is a living product that's dying. So that
I need to ask you about that. If wine is dying, unlike comics where you have these ages, you have golden ages, and even before that, you have silver age, you have bronze, copper, modern. If wine is dying, like how do you have to sell your wine at some point to not lose value after a while?
It's the same thing that you said, right? Like you decide what if you're collecting things that you like drinking, there's a point that you have to drink it, right? Because it is deteriorating as time goes on.
So what's your limit? What's your year limit? Like when it hits a certain year, it has to be drank.
It depends on the wine. So champagne has so much acid in it. It's got a really, really long lifespan. And acidity is actually what gives wine its longevity. The higher the acid the wine has, because it takes longer. Like alcohol will break down. Alcohol evaporates. You pour a whole bottle of alcohol on the floor, it's gone in a matter of minutes. So, like that leaves, but acid stays for a long time. And it's all in how you like there's a sweet spot for you where this wine is in perfect balance. The acid is right, the sugar is right, the alcohol is right. And you have to determine that. That's why I check in on certain bottles. So I live in New York City. I have a very large wine fridge. It's actually bigger than my fridge for food. But I also
awesome.
My comic storage unit is bigger than the room that I live in.
Yeah.
So
In my apartment, my fridge holds 185 bottles, and I also have 3 racks.
Wow.
And then I have private offsite storage though for wines that I'm aging, because even though I have a fridge that I keep in a specific spot at a certain temperature, I can't control for humidity. I can't control for a random power outage. So if you have really expensive bottles that you're trying to age, you need to put them, like I have them in a facility that is insured. It's steady with its humidity, it's climate controlled,
Yeah.
but
So when you,
you
real
pay
quick,
for a service.
so
At
real
any
quick,
time, if I want those bottles, I only need give 24 hours notice and they're delivered to my door.
so how
Okay.
do you know when you're buying a bottle of wine, it has been kept in the condition that is acceptable? Like, it's
You
not
don't.
Sally who's left it in her attic for 57 years, and you're buying
You
that wine
don't.
that has
And
been through every
people,
heat
so
wave.
when you were talking about fraud, people get burnt with that a lot more than anything,
Oh,
especially on
wow.
wine bid, because there'll be a vintage or a producer that you are dying to have, and then you
Mhm.
see it pop up. And when you post on wine bid, like it's kind of like when you guys talk about there's a little ridge near this staple or a little whatever.
Yeah.
It has
We'll talk
spine
about
stress.
the condition of the capsule, right? Because if a wine was kept too hot, you'll see, like if you touch the top lip, the cork is a little bit pushing up. That normally means the wine's has some heat exposure, and you can spoil wine easily. I mean, wine in the back seat or the trunk of your car for 30 minutes on a hot summer day is cooked. Throw it away. You should not keep it anymore.
Oh my God.
So you have to
Oh
be
my
really careful.
God.
And so for me, the wines that I collect, I intentionally seek out buying it directly from the winery. And if it's abroad, it means you pay an extreme premium for that winery to pay for the storage container that it's shipping over here in, for it to go to a facility, for them to test for soundness here. So there are wineries where if they're shipping from France, Spain, or Italy, you pay for it. But when it gets here, somebody that represents the winery tastes it. And if they don't feel that the bottles are sound, you'll get your money back.
Wow.
Interesting.
So
go ahead, Kyle.
hold on, Sins. I've never said this before on this.
And you never will.
This was supposed to be genuine. Yeah, it was supposed to be genuine. It was supposed to come from the chest, from the heart.
I ruined it.
He does
I've
it to
never
everyone.
never said this
He's a
before though.
Savage.
So when you have guests on a particular show or a podcast or anything, any kind of form of visual media, you were the first guest that I would love to have back on, just due to we've been on for 2 hours and 12 minutes, right? And we are just touching the surface in some of the similarities and the differences. We haven't even touched on a lot of the differences. There's just been, oh, this relates to this and this relates to that. It's such a in-depth like analysis and categorization. We just got into what you collect. We haven't even answered half of the questions. Like it's nuts. I would love to have you on again, in the sense of there are more things that are like literally just ruminating in my head that I'm just like, I need to like spill this out. But I'll ask you a question and it'd be another 20-30 minutes, and I don't think that there's like that kind of time. We usually so I've been taking notes the whole entire time, and there's like two
that's
questions.
how I am when I listen to you guys on like a Sunday, right? Like I'm floored by the descriptors used, by is it the artist?
Intriguing.
Is it this series?
Kara, hold up your glass real quick for me. Hold it up. Hold it right there. Thank you.
It's really cool to hear you guys talk about like what is it, when you're turning a book just to see there's this little nick near the corner staple and how that impacts value. But in the end, if you are a collector of that, it's irrelevant. That little nick isn't going to stop you from getting that bottle.
Nope.
Mine is similar. The difference that I've realized in this community is that you guys are incredibly welcoming. Wine, it is why I do what I do. Wine is the most, and it's American. It's not European. And Where did he get this paperboy? Now he looks like he did when he was in college.
He looks like he's in what's that? The newspaper movie.
Newsies.
Newsies, yeah.
And this is how long I've known Sans. Like that's actually college Sans. But it's so crazy. Like this is such a welcoming community, and wine is not. And I don't
Interesting.
get why. Like wine supposes that you're supposed to know all these things. I'm like, well, you don't know it when you start. You just know what you like. Like my sister-in-law is my best student, and when she first started drinking, she liked Jam Jar, $2.99 Jam Jar. Now my brother hates me because of the amount of money my sister-in-law spends on wine.
That's good.
Sans, you're on mute. We can't hear shit.
I was also saying she also knows how to collect it and what's actually bringing value to the family going forward. So
This is I'm just saying this is the first guest that I personally would love to have back. So Kira, I'd literally love to have you back.
You have to bring it back.
Everybody else can just like go pack sand. Like honestly,
what is on the horizon for you? Because I heard there's like I saw you was with Styles P. So all the hip hop community, y'all need to see. She had an event with Styles P. Channing. Like there's not a week where there's not like a celebrity in there. But what I'm interested in, you have a wine paired with hip hop music coming up. And what I want to bring you back for is wine. Now that you're into comics, wine paired with comics. How is that going to look in the future?
Real quick, here's our intro for episode 22.
Hey, what's up? I'm here with Sith Lordly of Spine Ticks, and you're watching
Wine, cheese, and comics, please.
Your host of episode 22. We're all here, guys.
You just gotta spell my name right because it's Kera, right?
Oh man, in the moment.
No, that's super dope. And like the next time I'm gonna be on, I'm gonna make sure that I share it on my social media too, because I think that with all things, like people have these stigmas of like comics being nerdy and don't realize like the
we're getting robot Kira.
Oh, nice.
First I get kicked off, and then Kira turns into a robot. I got it.
But look,
Comics
are nerdy. Let's be very clear. Comics are nerdy, but you don't have to be. You don't have to be a nerd to be invested in reading and enjoying.
I just told you I study which winds blow in from east to west, but I think it's so dope though to like see how many parallels there are and how much like I've lectured. My brother is a professor, and we're also from the Bronx, so we are ultimate hip hop heads. I've lectured in his graduate level class at Columbia, where they've picked their 4 battle rappers, and I've picked a grape and a region and paired why I think this is how I would personify these.
So what we want to know is what wine pairs with Dr. Doom, what wine pairs with Miles Morales.
Okay.
Next episode.
This is the homework. This is her homework.
Okay.
What wine pairs with Dr. Kyle, for Matt it's Dr. Doom.
Okay.
For me it's Miles Morales. For you, Kyle,
Scrolls.
Yeah.
Okay. SKRULLS.
I will do my research because I think that this is how you draw people into mediums that they don't even know they like. Like I'm a big Harry Potter fan and like the Hobbit things like that.
What do you think about the remakes that they're gonna do? Yeah, me too. Me freaking too. Are you kidding me?
It's
variant
so-
covers why you hating.
It's so dope to talk about this in this way though, and see how, like you said, like how many crossovers and even the nuance of the language of like allocations and newsstand versus collect. Like it's crazy how many, how much these things overlap. And I think that people, I mean, like I didn't know anything about comics, but the way you guys are passionate about this stuff,
I'm not
and
passionate.
I mean, it's nuts how easy.
What I was gonna say is she's quoting stuff that kind of veteran people would talk about, and she literally just got into this when we started talking about bringing her on this show, and she's talking about newsstands and directs and variants.
She has understand the abuse of the co-hosts that we have taken due to the fact that we are not getting any salary on this show. So
no, it's fine.
I appreciate her.
You know what? We're gonna bring more people in. We're gonna have like 2,000 subscribers in no time. Done. But to answer Sam's question though, so coming up, season 3 of my podcast is launching, and I'm talking to a bunch of cool people just about food and wine. It's called A Glass for Every Palate. You can listen to it anywhere that you listen to your pods.
Please take a moment to drop your information in chat as well.
Say it one more time.
That's me. I went to my filming crew talks me into some weird shit. So we went to this haunted winery in Napa, and I had to stay there, and we filmed The Ghost of Spring Mountain, which is this really notoriously haunted winery in Napa.
It's not gonna show up because it's
not gonna be funny, but it's A Glass for Every Palate, and you can listen to it anywhere that you have your pods. I've had really cool guests from
is that it? Some TV?
Dwayne Wade, Carla Hall, like super, super dope people. Carla Hall episode.
I love how she just said Dwayne Wade and then she's on Wine, Cheese, and Comics, please. Like I just feel special. I just feel special about that. Like for a moment there, I just had, I unboxed Liz Barnes' art tonight. We had you on the show. Like I'm gonna sleep okay tonight. My happy meal.
I cannot complain. We have brought in a guest that is bumping shoulders with D Wade, Shannon Fry, all of these master winery hosts.
Next time you see him, just tell him to hit the jump shot, okay? Please.
I am kind of a curator for a lot of NBA players, helping them to curate their private cellars. That's kind of my niche. But now they want wines that are mine, and I don't like sharing wines that are mine, except they're willing to pay quadruple what I'm willing to pay for it. So I'll get my allocation and keep 2 and like flip 2 to them so that,
So you heard it. Shakira is interested in this. So this is
so cute.
4 times the value, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the problem with comic books. The influence.
$200 Google.
I'm just saying I can knit and crochet, so I love
Sans
that.
doesn't even know math. He said $40. So
look at that. The man literally just went overboard.
No, that's so dope, and like I
got Grogu's, motherfucker.
You are so extra. I want to thank you guys for like welcoming me.
Absolutely,
you're welcome back anytime.
The way you have, like,
come
just
chill
all
with us.
of you with like my questions about what's what. I've DM'd some of you on Instagram asking you, what the fuck is this? You guys are so dope and like inviting and welcoming. And I hope that everybody, for you guys and for everybody in the chat, like I am regularly used to people being in restaurants and texting me the wine list and going, this is what I'm going to eat. What should I drink? Feel free to hit me up. I'm happy to make sure. Like the biggest thing with wine in restaurants is people go and are like, oh, I don't want to be cheap. I don't know how much to spend. The truth is, if you're at a good restaurant, like if you go to FLX, if you go to Chris Bates restaurant, I don't know if you know Finger Lakes well. Chris Bates is a master sommelier. He has a restaurant in the Finger Lakes. It's really funny because the Court of Master Sommeliers went through this thing where they actually weirdly used to call people that had earned the MS like master something. So that meant that master sommelier Chris Bates was called Master Bates. So we stopped calling him that.
Well, I want Master Kara to message me before the next show, so I'm not drinking McDonald's Happy Meal, and I can get something of quality. Because next show I'm about to bust out the box wine of all box wines.
Listen, we are about to get Wine, Cheese, and Comics Please sponsored, so that we all get the same bottle every time that I'm on. We'll have the same wine.
That's what we need every episode.
Like
a new bottle. We all just
please
drink
send
it.
us some Channing Fry wine for the.
Oh my God, Channing! You know what? I'm not gonna promise, but legit, Channing would come and talk to this community.
Please tell Channing we want him on.
He is the most down.
We want to try his wine, and
I will officially censor Santa's eye through that entire.
No, he's
like one of the community involved in the wine.
All the NBA wine people. Channing Fry is legit the most authentic, humble, knowledgeable, chill, wants everybody to drink. Yes, Chris Bates. No, he doesn't go by Master Bates. We that know him continue to call him that because why not? I mean, Master Bates, come on.
Oh my God.
So Alvarado said it best. Hold on. So does he?
Yeah.
Matter Bates.
Before we end, let's do this in terms of what we learned tonight. Let's get a start, stop, continue from each of you because my HR is coming out, right? Because
my list is untouchable. Like
we had so many things that came up tonight, and it wasn't just comics; it transcended everything that we do. You know, this is all what we're about. We're about the floor of pop culture. Wine is in there, collectibles is in there. What is something you would start, stop, continue based upon our discussion tonight, ladies and gents? I'm going to turn the floor over to Kyle.
Don't start with me. I've literally been mixing. I've mixed sake, wine, and beer tonight. Please let me go last.
Matt, tell me start, stop, continue, good sir.
I'm stopping to listen to Sans for any influential comic advice. God damn, that's horrible. I'm starting listening to that podcast every single week because, quite frankly, being told that I'm drinking McDonald's wine.
You got the Josh, and I got the Bogle. Oh my God!
That's why she said it. Or I'm glad you caught up about 20 minutes ago. I appreciate that. So, what am I continuing? I'm going to continue to make amazing content on this show and inviting guests in because tonight was absolutely flawless. If you have not been here for the last hour and 45 minutes having Kara on this show, it's been amazing. I learned more about Kyle than I've ever known. Quite frankly, either the man is a genius at Google.
Kyle's a wine scholar.
I did not know this about Kyle.
Kyle's Googling. That's all I'm going to say. Kyle's Googling. But
no, I'm not Googling. I'm taking notes.
This is my moment. You get out of here. Okay, so Kyle may not be Googling, but I'm going to say he is because he made me and Sans look really bad tonight with our McDonald's wine. But you know what? I love him for that. So.
Oh my God, we brought this on ourselves.
I was drinking a blend. I was drinking a blend too.
No one cares what you were drinking.
So for me, I am going to start requesting more information before I purchase any wines. I'm going to reach out to the sommeliers and others in this community just for recommendations because you
can't afford recommendation. You got no super chats tonight.
Right. There were $7.99 wines, but I went with the $10.99. Right. So
it was fancy.
There you go. I was like, hey, I'm going with the quarter pounder with cheese. I ain't even taking a Big Mac tonight. Right.
The Royale with cheese.
The Royale with cheese. That's how they would pronounce it. But what I'm gonna start doing is actually going back to the year of 78 and going back to the year of my son and other things and looking at what either comics and wines are going to be kind of appreciating those years and grabbing them. And what I'm going to continue to do is giving my opinion on what comic books you should be buying.
And it was at that moment, folks, that the same show just got cut off because there was nothing more important after that last message. So, Karen,
and just like that, it's my turn. Yeah. Wow.
He's the worst, y'all. He's the worst. But my opinion matters because what I see.
And that was the second time that we got CDC regulated, and we were.
You can't give motherfuckers control. This is what happened, Matt. Matt will destroy. I brought Matt in on a Matt is on our wine and cheese. I brought Matt in on a not even me. It was Kyle. Kyle brought Matt in on a goddamn auction, and he muted me and
just like that.
Just like that.
I'm waiting. Hold on. Anything else?
I'm zipping it. You lucky you my producer, man. I hate you so much.
And what Sands is gonna stop and what Sands is gonna stop doing is talking right now.
I'm gonna zip my lip. Although it's interesting, man. I think
you gotta let him finish, or I won't go.
My hands are up here.
You will be in Pelican Bay.
And then he turns into Robot Sands.
It's interesting because I found out that both of you are like these IT professionals in like hospital industry saving lives on a daily basis. And I'm like, what the
Matt, do you work with Epic?
I do.
What do you do at Epic?
I am the regional director of all Epic training at 7 hospitals.
Would you like to come to? We'll talk about that. So I oversee Epic security for all modules for all 13 hospitals of Mount Sinai.
We are in touch.
This is why we drink.
This is fucking ridiculous.
This is why I couldn't do a show last week because I was working third shift because Hyperdrive came out.
Oh my God. I had someone build like 8.
Get her off of here too with this Hyperdrive.
You a hater. Wow.
No, Matt.
She knows.
Matt
She knows.
Sarah, you mother lovers. No, this is awesome.
Okay, so I have to go with my start. So I'm going to talk to Matt more about the struggles. You now understand exactly why I drink as much as I do.
Oh my God. It is crazy.
So my start is going to be, I'm going to really start to take the things that I've learned already. So for me, it's really going to be like understanding, having a deeper knowledge of like variants, artists, and newsstands, and trying to see what I know about those things and pairing them with wine. So that's my start. What's the next thing?
Continue.
Stop, continue. Yeah.
Stop. I'm not going to judge you on McDonald's shake and bake hamburger helper wine.
See, that was the biggest lie of the night. Like, I felt like I was judged from day one.
I
popped this cork and it was like, oh, would you like fries with that?
No, she said, ooh, baby, that right there is not a good one.
I will stop judging it.
And then I held the glass with the ice up. It was like downhill from there.
It was the ice that took it over the hill for me.
She said,
the ice did it over.
Oh, baby, that one right there is not the right bottle.
It's not that. And then you held it by the bowl. Well, yours was stemless. Sands, you messed that up. And I'm going to start, like, as much as you guys will have me back, I know so many coordinate and get us sent the same 3 bottles. And I would love for us to have conversations like this wine.
Notice how she's breaking up here because this right here is...
This is all you're doing.
Yeah.
This is all you're doing, Sam.
Right. She's breaking up right here because this has to happen. This is proof that she's a part of this. Right. This is a part. It is proof she is part of Wine, Cheese, and Comics, Please. Because without the breakup connections, it would not show that she is authentic.
No, but I want us to have the same bottle and the same way you guys have imparted knowledge on me. I do think that wine knowledge, no matter what walk of life you're in, is social capital. So that's my gift back to this community that's teaching me so much. I would love to teach you guys about wine, but related to things you already know, because I think this comic community is so dope, and I'm so grateful for you guys and for this community at large being so welcoming to a newbie like me.
That is awesome. And we agree, man. We think that, you know, from a standpoint of people coming into the community and what they have to offer, it's a matter of just everyone having a platform to listen. And us having you on is kind of raising our kind of. There were so many questions that we had tonight that, like, even little things about wine that our chat members, we may have 20 people here, we may have 25, we may have 12, but chat members got questions answered and they were like, wow, that was something I didn't learn tonight. And those are the nuggets that we're looking to get. So we're gonna
Please DM me if I missed anything in the chat. Like, definitely shoot me a DM on IG. I'm happy to answer. I just want to point out
follow that account.
I tried to pick an everyday like Wednesday wine for me, but my wine was about $40 for this. I think this is about $40.
Hold on, I need to go get some whiskey.
Right, I'm gonna go and get something that is not wine, but it is like edible. No, I mean just
The juice boxes on the bottom shelf for your son do not count. Okay, let's just draw it back. It's 11:52 on the East Coast right now. It's past your bedtime.
you leave me out of this, you son of a bitch. Let's go to Kyle because Kyle has been quiet. Kyle, what do you got going on? Save me, sir.
He had to wait till the end, so he's going to wait a little longer, just like 5 seconds. All right, we'll bring him back in.
It's fine by me.
Matt, you are the worst.
That's why you bring me here. You bring me here because I'm not just that.
Hey, Kyle, first of all, I like the hat, man. The hat is pretty damn stylish. It is. It's not a baseball cap turned backwards. It is professional, my friend. You got.
See, we can't have the hate speech on here, so we just got to cut that out right away.
It's just like super European. All right, so start, stop, continue. Start is interesting to me. I want to start getting. Like,
hold up before you start. Did you know Phoenix Shan actually kidnapped?
No, it was his moment. Don't you dare ruin his moment.
What is he talking about, Phoenix Shan? Hold on, I want to know because it's technically Star Wars, and I'm super into Star Wars. So
Phoenix Shan kidnapped Omega. Why was she trying to kidnap?
It
I'm
doesn't
about
matter.
to get
This
kicked
is
off
Kyle's
because
moment.
I have never seen a single Star Wars movie.
This is Bad Batch.
What?
If you haven't watched the Bad Batch, I started watching that tonight
Amazing.
because
Better than Andor.
Andor is over, and oh wow,
This is my favorite character. Well, I'm a little. There we go. This is my favorite character. It's
Have you
Asajj
been drinking?
Ventress.
You can't
I
even
have
hold
been.
your hands together.
I was like, this is my favorite character. It's Asajj Ventress.
that's Asajj Ventress, right? Yeah.
Yeah, my friend drew it for me.
It's pretty
awesome.
crazy. Asajj is badass.
This is actually going to be the artist of the comic book that I'm creating. She's been drawing some stuff. She's been doing a bunch of sketch covers recently. I'm going to start.
I know two guys that really work for the exclusives. So when you're ready with that comic book, you let us know.
There we go. So speaking of comic books, I just want this to be known to everybody. Free Comic Book Day is the first Saturday in May, which is May 6th.
I have a feeling we'll be back next week.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, Kira, but basically you go to a comic shop and they give you free comic books, and it is everything. It is anything anime, anything like little, like from all ages. If you look at the top of the title of Free Comic Book Day, there are green, that's all ages, blue, which is for teens, and red, which is for mature audiences.
I'm excited.
There's 35 titles this year. 35, meaning there's 35 different books that you can choose from, and you just walk in and you pick them up for free, depending on what comic book shop you go to. It can be like when they give free tacos at Taco Bell, and you just get 2 tacos at one Taco Bell, go across the street, get 2 more tacos. But yeah, Free Comic Book Day is coming up first Saturday in May. That's what I'm going to continue. What I'm going to stop doing is laughing when people are kicked off the screen on the show, because I feel like I am enabling the
Oh my
God. Wait, no.
Cool.
I'm not supposed to laugh. But yeah, there's 35 different titles. I'm telling everything, like from anime to like things for children, like Investigators is really fun. It's been coming out. There's a Captain Underpants thing that's coming out, and then to like mature things, which are like
I think I have
really
some
like.
already. Let me see what I have.
The crazy thing is that's the weekend of my 20-year college reunion.
Oh no! All
Oh my
right,
God,
well,
20 years already? Wow, congratulations to
20
you.
years. I
luckily,
graduated undergrad
Good
in
job.
2003.
well,
Wow.
go to the comic shop first at like 11 when
I'll
they
do that
open.
first. Totally fine.
Yeah.
I went to school at NYU, so there's like 9 college shops in the East Village that I can go to.
I won't lie to you.
Perfect.
My top hunts are Buffy, Turtles, and probably Sonic.
Oh, what should I get? Okay, wait, guys. So, all right, help a newbie
So
out.
this is what you want to get for Free Comic Day.
What's
Oh,
that?
that's
one?
because
Star Wars?
that's it's Star Wars, but it's also freaking Avatar, which is
Okay.
nuts.
So that's
Avatar:
the
The
one.
Last Airbender.
So wait, how does this work? Should I be there like when the comic book store opens to get like my pick? Do they
No,
all get the
they'll
same
have a
books?
bunch of them. They'll
Yeah,
have a
most
bunch of
comic
them. You
shops
just need
over
to
purchase.
ask them for like their selection.
Yep.
Mhm.
Each shop will have. You can actually go on the website for Free Comic Book Day, and they'll tell you which ones are participating, and
Ooh,
then
okay.
you can go out. Everybody already has their books already. They know what they have. You could literally call them and ask them what they're putting out.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
I have
sweet.
a
I'm gonna
bunch.
do
I have
that.
a bunch that have already come in.
Mhm.
Like R.L. Stein.
How do you
Oh,
have
yeah.
them already?
They shipped like
That's what
literally
I'm
like
saying.
5 months
I
ago.
got my
So
connections.
actually, going back to that's actually something that you brought up is that people like have different access to certain things. Like let's say that I create my comic book, right? I'm coming out with a 3-issue miniseries. I'm going to send it out to people before I release it to public because I want people to review it first and actually like make videos like promoting it in that kind of aspect.
So I get samples from wineries of wines before they're released. To
Exactly.
taste them and
Same
to tell
kind
them
of.
what I think about them and to talk about them. That's very cool.
Have
Yep,
you ever
and,
heard of the Wine Institute of New Orleans?
I actually have. One of my really good friends is a wine person in New Orleans. I'm gonna email who that for some great places to drink in New Orleans. One of my favorite places is a restaurant called Shaya. It's an Israeli restaurant, and I think
Oh,
people
cool.
sleep on wines from Israel a lot. But the climate and topography of Israel is very similar to Italy. So if you like Italian wines, you will very much like most of the wines coming out of Israel.
Cool.
And,
That's
and
right,
Baby
Immortal
Shaq,
Business Shack.
he's
You
got to
know,
make up for the fact that he drank McDonald's tonight. So
He'll never live
I
that down
get
for
the
me.
early access, baby. Little influencer on my side, y'all. But Kyle, start, stop, continue, good sir.
The only one left I have is start, and I don't remember what I was. Oh yeah, I want to start getting into exploring different things that I'm not like used to, because like I'm different vintages is how I wrote it down. So I want to kind of dip my toes into things that I'm not comfortable with because
Where do
it's
you live?
easy. I live in California, and we just had the rainiest season. I live in Temecula right now.
Oh shit, you've got
So
really cool, interesting wines.
I'm surrounded by it, and I literally just got here, and I've been talking to some people, and they're like, "Yeah, you got to go to this place, you got to go to this place." So I'm gonna start exploring.
I love this.
So.
I have some Rex for you in Temecula too.
Oh,
Perfect.
wow.
Thank you very much. I'd love to hear those.
Wow,
So.
wow. Listen, ladies and gents, pay attention. We are not only bringing you what's happening in comics, we're bringing you in hip hop, we're bringing you in wine. Wine, cheese, comics, please, is transcending the comic book community. We're opening up to all collectors. Shakira Jones is a collector of wine and a connoisseur of comics as well as my man Matt, my man Kyle, the time traveler, and myself, Sans the Cookie Man. We are so grateful to have you here. Once again, shout out to Liz Barnes with the great artwork. She is definitely a great supporter of the Cookie Channel. Shout out to Shakira Jones for coming through tonight and really blessing us with some knowledge about all things wine, all things champagne, and everything you can think of. We didn't even get on the whiskeys and sakes, which she also knows as well.
Next time,
which is
trust
why
me.
we have to have another. Yeah.
That is what Kyle was saying. Like there was just so much that we did not.
I
even
want to talk
touch on.
Dai Ginjo. I want to talk
I am a
Ginjo. I want to
master.
talk
I am
Naguri.
actually a certified master taster by Jack Daniels.
Oh, you went
Ooh.
American. Oh,
There you go. There you go.
No, wait. But I also have a really great relationship with Glenfiddich and with Macallan.
Ooh,
Oh, cool.
okay,
Oh,
okay,
Macallan, yeah.
okay.
If you
Okay,
don't have-
look. She
Like Matt just said,
and she will bang it. She,
don't have because
get him out of here,
if
man.
there are
He was
any
just
women on
too.
here,
He was
if there
too
are
quick
any
to
women
be
on
like,
here,
oh.
whatever episode we decide to talk about whiskey, Macallan Fine Oak 15 is a woman's whiskey. It is velvety, it is smooth, it is sexy, it is aged right. It's perfection in a bottle.
and my
But
wife
can you
would smell it, throw
can
up.
you smoke a cigar with it? That's what we
That's the
do
other
anything.
thing. Oh shit, you can't see my humidor. I also collect cigars because I like to smoke too.
What?
All
right.
And on that note, ladies
We're
and
2
gents,
minutes, 2 hours, 45 minutes.
We
on
became a
that
quad
note,
tonight.
ladies and gents, we have, but there's just so much to touch on. When you bring a guest on this diverse, this well versed in everything, we need to bring this guest back. So be on the lookout.
Don't you fucking do it.
Kara
Don't you fucking
Jones.
do it.
Make sure
I can't. You fucking guy. He fucking did it. Sands, he did it. He did it to close the show. He's off the channel. I don't care what you say. I'm done. I'm out of here.
They are so silly. I love it.
Oh my god. Make sure you guys tune in each and every episode. Catch this on the replay because if you did not watch this we got people already talking about cigars. We got to connect. That is what I'm talking about because we have guests that are diverse. We've had guests that talked about how to deal with your taxes on this channel. No other channel is talking about dealing with your taxes. We have guests that's talking about cigars and wines, and we have guests that are talking about comics and everything else. So you come here when you're ready for a good time, ladies and gents.
And
make
we
sure
got
you
some
spread
topics
the
to
word.
tackle. We got some crazy topics. We got FDCD, the federal development of what's it, digital currency.
Shit, who's that person? I just paid
coming.
the IRS.
Yeah, Megatron definitely should have.
Megatron got it.
Megatron, I agree with you.
Soundwave. She went to Soundwave on it.
To watch that episode.
Yep, I agree too. Sans is a jerk in every way. I could have said it better myself.
I hate you, Matt. On that note, we're going to end the show, ladies and gents. We want to thank you once again. If you have any comments, please drop them in the chat afterwards. Comment, we'll get back to you. We want to thank you for joining us for Wine and Cheese and Comics, please. It's been a glorious almost 3 hours, and we will be back. Shakira Jones will be back, ladies and gents.
We got to give her outro. Hold on.
That is the sexiest intro ever. I'm here for that.
Be sure to follow Miss Kara Jones at Black Girls Dying 2 and make sure you guys are ready for when we bring her back to the stage because we got so much more to talk about. But she also has wine paired with hip hop coming up later this year, and we're looking forward to seeing that. So, ladies and gents, from Sans the Cookie Man, from my man Matt, from my man Kyle, the time traveler, and Miss Kara Jones.
A glass for every palate.
Yes, we want to thank you for coming through. And as always, we got to give you that woo.
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? I'm here with Sith Lordly of Spine Ticks, and you're watching
Wine, cheese, and comics, please.